Hello guys, it's Flamish. I'm not really sure. Yeah, okay, you can hear me. So I'm not really sure what I should do. I made a huge mistake. So I said the stream will be at 5 p.m. EST instead of 4, which I normally go for. But it's because it's a different time zone that I made this mistake. So I'm not really sure if I should stream now because Infinite is not here yet. We could start, but yeah, most people are gonna like chime in at 5 p.m. I guess. So I'm not sure what I should do now. Like I'm a little bit. Let me know in the comments and we'll play some more music for you guys.
Can you hear me now? 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 Yep, there it is.
Without saying, oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, okay. You can hear me as well, I
Yeah,
guess.
Shantu's saying he hears this. Yeah,
Yeah, okay. We're back. Dude, you didn't say anything to now. I was like, I've been talking for like 5 minutes straight, doing shit. Oh my god. Okay, so we
oops.
have to start over. So, first of all, thanks for coming. Yeah, I'm gonna sell my service of being a sound guy for your podcast and the shows and stuff. If you need help getting your channels ready, I'm the sound guy. So Jay was trying to sell my service on that for all the podcasts and all the shows. Like if you need him, call me. Oh my god. Okay,
You don't need
so
sound during a podcast. At least there's video.
we'll start over, guys. So first of all, thank you all for coming. We have some gameplay in the background from Phoenix Immortal Rises, Immortals Phoenix Rises, which is still weirder name than Gods and Monsters, which I find much more enjoyable. Second of all, I did a boo boo. Normally we were going live at 4, but I typed in Twitter and to Infinite at 5. So he's gonna be a little bit later because he didn't know it yet. So he'll be here soon. And then third, we have our amazing show member who's basically on like every show, like in the chat and stuff, called Matt Byrnes. Welcome.
Thank you, Flamish, for the second time. Yeah, I do. Thank you for having me here. It's great, and yeah, I guess a lot of people see me around because I do hang a lot of the YouTube channels. Wilmy Hoods, Game Beyond the Box, and RDX, and your shows, and Retro Renegades, and NLG, PTK Blam, and all of them. As many as I can get in whenever I have time. I'll watch it. I just have them pop up because I hit the like button and the bell, and it's my phone goes off and I have a show go. It's like, oh yeah, I'll watch that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why a lot of people think in the community know me is that I'm always in YouTube chats. I see probably 40 or 50 people on a regular basis. So it's kind of like I don't know. It's a great place where it's like, hey, I know that these people are going to be there to hang out. So I kind of expect it like breakfast with Boom Fridays at 10. I know who's going to be there, and you look forward to it. It's kind of like seeing friends at work or whatever, because most of us don't have any kind of a social life right now.
Yeah, I guess social life is not the easiest right now, but hey, you have your internet friends who see you every day on different channels and stuff, and you can talk to them, right? So, I mean,
Well, in my real life, I mean, I'm 43. I don't know actual gamers my age. Like you run across a couple casuals here or there, but there's not many people I know that care about video games like I do. So I sought out the internet to try to find people that are like me. So I kind of have like like a clique to hang with where you don't feel like such a geek talking about video games. Because when I was a kid, talking about video games was like, dude, you used to get made fun of, beat up. Like it wasn't a cool thing in the '80s to be a computer geek. So it's nice as I've gotten older, it's become more acceptable in society, and now it's just kind of it's a lot easier now. It's great.
yeah, it is great. I mean, mm. I love where gaming is going with like online and stuff, like all the community and stuff like that that we have going around, talking to different people that we know during the internet time. So it's different kind of social. People back in the day thought I wasn't social. I was just social online. It's like still social but different for me.
I think it comes down to if you have a group of friends that you can play like Xbox Live with or on PlayStation, and you have a group that you have a game with, it's a lot more fun because like I'm a big Battlefield player. So if you get in the Battlefield and you have your squad mates, like if you start to know how somebody else plays and then how like they call out stuff, like it becomes, I don't know, it seems more immersive and just more real. If you're playing with randoms, you get the jackass. It's like trying to snipe people from a mile away. It's like, come on, man! Like, why are you in the spawn point trying to snipe people? Like, come help us out. So I think it's a tale of two different types of online where if you play with people regularly, like you could have a really, really good time playing multiplayer games. But if you play by yourself a lot, which I do because I play mostly during the daytime when everybody's at work, but I'm always trying to find somebody that can fit into like my schedule and play regularly with because it is so much fun. That's why I loved 20 years ago with like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2, and
Mm-hmm.
like I had a group of people every night I knew would be online, and we'd always just sit there and team up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm looking for more people during the day. I mean, my time during the evening, it's like your daytime. So it would be great if you can, like, maybe see if we can play together, maybe a little bit more. If other people can do that, I'm always up for it. Like,
Yeah, like I played with you with Fall Guys, and that was fun. But we didn't play for all that long. I think we played like 4 matches, 5 matches, something like that.
yeah, I know that was a little bit ago. Yeah, that was on PlayStation, right?
It was on PlayStation, and then I think right about that time, a bunch of other games came out. So like we were both kind of like, oh, let's play this, and then I'd rather go play something else because I just got, I don't know,
Yeah.
PGA Tour came out or something came out at that time, and I was trying to get into another game, and then I picked up Ghost of Tsushima late, so I was trying to play that as well. So I juggled too many games at times.
Okay. First of all, guys, the gameplay in the background now is Recomunda Underhive Wars. That's the new game that came out that was on the Xbox Games Showcase. So it's basically a RTS type game like you have those games from XCOM and Gears Tactics and stuff like that. Looks cool. So sort of RPG. You can build your character up and stuff. Drapul, welcome. Shonzu, Whisper, Whisper, yeah. Invader, thanks all for coming. Infinite will be joining us soon, as soon as he gets the memo that it was an hour earlier than I said it would be. Oh my god, still, like, so cringy for me that I do it again, like the wrong time. But hey, you have to learn, so we'll get better over time. Um,
You're
Matt,
crazy. You'll still do the show. You'll just extend the time you do the show. Like you'll do 3 hours instead of two to make up for it. Like you'll start early and then just continue the show like it would have started at 5.
yeah, probably we'll see. Like this has no time limit. That's the fun thing about my show. It has no time limit. You could stay for like 6 hours and I'll still be like, yeah, let's go.
Well, there was one time I think it was Retro Renegades that you were hosting, and some of the guys weren't there, and then I went and watched another show and came back, and you were still doing it. I'm like, dude, it's been like 5 hours.
Oh,
Like he's
dude.
nuts. He's still going.
So basically, what happened back then, right? Because that was so dreadful. I can handle a 5 hour show. I did try to stop it 3 times. Don't start. We're talking about children for an hour and a half. God damn it.
So Dreadpool was like, he didn't do a long show. He screwed it up.
Nah, it doesn't matter. That's my show. Like everything can happen. It can go on for a long time. I didn't actually see when I had to work tomorrow. I hope it's not an early one. I do have to check in a little bit. But what was I talking about? Damn it.
So wait, does your schedule? Do you? It
Mhm.
goes all around. Like you might start at like 6 a.m. You might start at like noon. Like
Yes,
constantly moving.
that's correct. Oh, damn, that's no, I don't want you guys to see what I'm doing. I have a little bit more gameplay, guys. I'll search this up. Uh, it's all in Dutch anyway. You cannot read any of it, so would be stupid. But no, basically, yeah, my hour schedule is like everything can happen, so every day can be different. I know a couple of days up front what I'm going to do. but I didn't check tomorrow, which is actually stupid. Oh, 11:30. Okay, I have time. I don't know what
Oh, that's
SPA
not bad.
to. Yeah, 11:30 is cool. Then I can go like till 1 or 2 in the morning. So I have like 3-4 hours now. Yay! But basically, I'll go when the show ends. Then I stop. So. But now,
Yeah, I'm worried because I haven't been on Twitter too much today, and I don't know
mhm.
if any more news broke. It's been a pretty good week. A lot of stuff
I
coming out.
I haven't checked the news yet. Actually, hold on. I can do that as well on the spot. So we know the PlayStation 5 thing will be coming this week on Wednesday at 10 p.m. my time, which is gonna be like 4 p.m. your time. EST, not Pacific.
Yeah, the
Uh,
Pacific's 3 hours behind us.
yeah, we got a demo gameplay that's also from the Series S with Gears 5. Um, and load times tests, some stuff. There's been some new rumors with the Avengers going on that there will be a Venom character in the game soon. There's some stuff like that, but yeah. I do my new shows on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from now on, so it's gonna be a lot of stuff going on. But yeah, that's cool. Um, Yeah, on a few tangents we went off. Of course, Shanzu. It's mostly Dreadpool and Insanity that were on the show back then. Removable Santi. So those two can't talk, man. They can talk for hours. It's insane. So it's a little bit
I could
different than
probably
I.
talk for a long time. I don't because I mean I'm alone I'm alone pretty much 99% of the time. So I go days without talking, using my voice unless I talk to myself. So
Okay.
I could talk for hours if I needed to. I have plenty in the battery.
Yeah. Well, I have no problem talking as well. I love to talk. Love to talk about different stuff. But I do have a question because I had something happen to me this week. I made a video about it. Have you seen that video, Matt?
I don't know. My
It's a small
memory's not all
little
the
video
best.
of 5 minutes. So I was a little bit annoyed this week. Normally I go into positive stuff, but I do want to talk about this because it is something that I haven't seen before and was so shocked actually. Um, so basically what happened is I went to my game store because the PlayStation 5 is coming out, the Xbox Series X is coming out, and I didn't like reserve my pre-order yet, right? So
Hmm.
we can go on a list where it's like, okay, you're going on the list, so when the pre-orders come out, we'll contact you, we'll ask you what system you want to have, and we'll put you on the pre-order stuff. So just pay the €50 and you're on the pre-order, right? So they call you when it's available to pre-order. So that's cool. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to the store because I want to buy a PlayStation 5 digital. Because I'm like, I want to buy the Series X on day one, which is my main console of choice for myself. But I want to play PlayStation as well. And because I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna spend €500 anymore on the new PlayStation. I'm gonna spend less, so I want the digital version. And I went to the store and I said to them, "Hey guys, can you put me on the reserve list for PlayStation 5 digital?" And they went ballistic. They went hammering on me that I wanted to buy a digital instead of the normal PS5, and that I shouldn't buy an Xbox because there was only like 20 pre-order reservations, right? And there's like 250 of PlayStation 5, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So I was really like struck and was like trying to defend my point, which I shouldn't do in a fucking game store. I mean, you're I'm the customer asking you to reserve me something that I want to buy. You don't want to change the customer's mind as a seller, right? You can like suggest, but you cannot like change it, right? That's not how a retailer and someone that works behind the counter works. That's just boo boo, just bad boo boo.
If somebody was going to buy the less popular item that you have in stock, why would you not let them buy it? Because if the other one is much more popular, then obviously you're probably not going to have a problem getting rid of your stock. Like, it's just a sale for somebody else who actually wants that system. Like, why try to
Yeah.
talk somebody into something they don't want? I don't like. I don't know. I haven't been in a GameStop or any store like that in probably 10 years. I've had no desire since digital games came.
Hmm.
I don't trade them in, so it's just easier for me to do digital.
Yeah. I don't want to say like they didn't upsell to me at all. They just said, don't buy an Xbox, go PlayStation. And don't buy the PlayStation Digital. You still want to buy games. I'm like, okay, what the fuck? No? Like, they don't make any money off those console sales. That's where they don't make the bang for the buck. They make the bang for the buck from the games. So that's maybe the only reason why they were a little bit annoyed by me. That I wanted to go digital so I don't buy PlayStation games anymore in the store. Like second hand, which I do a lot.
You know,
They really know me over there, so.
it's probably exactly what it is. If you think about it, like they need the secondhand market. They need you to come in, buy a physical, play it for a week or two, and then trade it in for half price, and then they can sell it for what, $5 less than full price. So they make 25 quick bucks. Like,
Yeah, that's
they don't want
basically
that to
how they
die.
work.
If that
Yeah,
goes away, then they lose their job.
yeah.
So maybe that's it. I mean, maybe it's that just that simple. Where they're just like, hey, push the systems that have disk drives.
Hey, I gave my girlfriend a nudge. I said like, "Hey, can you sponsor me maybe a little bit, like help me a little bit with the console? Like it's once every like few years, so she maybe is gonna like give me a little bit, and maybe I'll consider like buying the real PlayStation 5. But I know that's gonna be sold out day one because I'm like the 260th person or something that's on the list. So there's not gonna be 260 Xbox PlayStation 5s on day one in that store. Basically, it said like it's gonna be around 50. That's what we normally get with console launches. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty hard to be on the. So that's why I'm thinking, hey, digital. I don't have to wait for PlayStation 5 because I don't want to wait like a few months. So yeah, that's why I did it.
I, I have a feeling the digital one's going to be more popular than the disc. But I guess the biggest question for me right now is it should only be like a $50 difference between the disc and the disc. An actual UHD Blu-ray drive cost to put in these things. 'Cause that's the only difference. So what's it, like 15 bucks, maybe $20 at the most? So a $50 price difference makes kind of some sense. They
Hmm.
could technically stretch it to 100 because if people are buying all digitals versus physical, well, the store's probably taking what, 20%, 30% of a cut.
No,
So they're making
no,
12,
no,
15
no, no, no,
bucks.
no.
I
They, they don't even do that. Like they don't even get a. I think it's like it's not so much. Really not so much. I
like
think
five,
it's
maybe $5 out of 60, but it has to make sense to where like you're not losing that money and you're gaining it back in your own storefront. And I don't know if it's going to be there. I don't know. I like I'll buy the disc one, and I really want it for a backup UHD Blu-ray player. I'm not going to buy it for games. It's not to load games in. It's just in case like I have a movie that for some reason won't play in an Xbox or one of my other Blu-rays. Then I, as dumb as it sounds, I actually own movies that will not play in certain Blu-ray players.
really wow. I never heard that before. That's interesting.
You get there's weird things where like for some reason it'll have a hard time with a disc. And it's I'm just like I'm all digital for my gaming, but I'm all physical for movies. Like I don't buy anything digital. When it comes to movies, I have discs all over my house because to me there's a real reason to get a UHD Blu-ray over say a streamed version or if you wanted to stream it
Hmm.
because the quality is there's a huge quality difference. With a digital game versus a physical one, it's the exact same thing. You're not getting anything different. And then I don't have to worry about
Um,
storing all those discs. Like I bought, I'm probably at like 210, 20 Xbox games I purchased this gen. Probably, I don't know, 20, 25 PlayStation games, probably 15, 20 Nintendo Switch games. I have some physical, but everything else is like I may have 5 physical Xbox One discs and probably I have 1 PlayStation. I
Okay.
haven't, and it was just because I got good deals on them. It was just like, oh, I got Switcher 3 for like $15 or $20 like years ago. And I was just like, oh, I can't pass this up. I'll just get this on physical. And that was actually kind of a good game too, because it had like the map and it had like there was actually like pamphlets and stuff inside of it. So it was kind of like a good physical copy to get. Because now some games don't come with anything in them anymore. Like it's just a disc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh, I don't know, man. I'm just like sometimes I trade my games in, and later on, like, damn, I want to play that game again, and I can't. Then I need to rebuy it. So basically, I'm just limiting myself that I don't sell my games anymore and just can play them later on, which I really want to do. Like Modern Warfare from Call of Duty, I sold that like I think 2 months after the game came out because I was tired of it. But the last few weeks, I'm really like itching to go back into it, and I don't want to buy it again because the new Call of Duty is coming out real soon. So yeah, there's a couple of games I would say that I sold back with a thing like I bought back multiple games again after I went to the store. It's stupid.
Well, like the good thing this year for you, because Modern Warfare is probably still going to be popular because Black Ops is kind of different. It's not like it's a different era, different guns. So you might be able to get this Black
Yeah,
Friday
but
for pretty
everything
cheap.
comes over. That's the funny part. So all the things you unlocked in the game actually come over to new.
Oh, that's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how that
But yeah,
works. I don't, but I do know it's gonna be the first real cross-play, cross-generation title. So you can play against PlayStation with Xbox, which is gonna be funny. Like, just imagine like a party of Xbox and party of PlayStation going around like in the game talking smack to each other on voice chat.
it could be fun, man.
Dude, that's gotta be even a funny like stream. Like if I can stream something like that on my PC and just have like Xbox guys against PlayStation guys. Be, yeah, I not on PC, but yeah, I should stream something like that if that ever happens or make a video. That would be so much fun. PlayStation's better. We'll destroy you. Get over here, bitch, with your 60 frames.
I've blocked so many people on Twitter. I used to run across those arguments, like where people would sit there and be like, "Oh, well, PlayStation online gamers are way better than Xbox online gamers." It's like, what? And then I followed Jeff Braddock
Yeah.
from EA, and he was on there, and he did a weekend where he was going from PC to the Xbox to the PlayStation to play Battlefield 5, and like he was he was not happy with the PlayStation people. He just he had the worst comments for playing with them, saying like I'm not gonna say like low skill, but it's just it was different. Like you have more people camping and doing that type of stuff on the PlayStation side. So
Mm-hmm.
who cares? Like if I basically I try to buy games where my friends are going to be. I'm not opposed to buying it on any of the systems. It doesn't like I can get around the quirks of their online systems, but I'm typically Xbox because I prefer Xbox Live. I think it's easier to use, but I'll jump on PlayStation and play games there.
Yeah, me too. Just mostly the games that are exclusive for me. Like the other games always plays better on the Xbox. My like even Avengers is better on the Xbox. It looks more crisp. It plays like it's more stable on the Xbox as well. So yeah, I prefer it on that. I don't even prefer on my PC because of my big TV, right? Otherwise, I would play everything on PC. And I think I wouldn't even buy an Xbox then if I would have not, if I wouldn't have that great of a TV. Then I'll probably just stick with PC.
Well, I mean, there's I'm looking at I'm possibly to go back into PC, and
Mm-hmm.
the nice thing is now is that you can use controllers.
Yes. Yes.
And from what I think, a lot of the stuff I read online is that even if you're going up against mouse and keyboard players, because of the basically like the auto aim and all that stuff, where it kind of helps you to compete, a lot of people can hold their own with a controller against mouse and keyboard. My biggest fear is like Battlefield 5 was really into Battlefield 5, and I always ran across people D side saying like the cheaters are just ridiculous. It's like all the people using like the aim bots and the see through the walls, and you could see them try. Like, they would sit there and spectate and watch them, and it's just like, dude, how could you even play like this? Guy is on top of the church with an with a gun with 250 bullets, and every time he pulls the trigger, somebody dies somewhere on the map. It's just like, this is ridiculous. Like, like how?
Yeah,
So
even
yeah, PC
even
gaming is free online, but it's not as good. Like, I'd rather have it where I don't have to worry about cheaters. Like,
yeah,
you still
if
have
you
to worry about
play Fall
cheaters,
Guys,
chronos and stuff, but
if you play Fall Guys on PC, that's just bad. I mean, so many cheaters on there. It's getting better overall, but it was so bad in the beginning. Like I saw people just flying all over the map, and he still lost. Like he tried to grab the crown 3 times, but it was too fast.
who the hell cheats in Fall Guys? Why would you cheat in Fall Guys? Like, the whole
Those
point of it,
unique
it's just
skins, those
fun.
unique skins. People don't want to miss out on the skins. They're only there for 2 days. So 2 days you have to win 10 times to get the 10 crowns. Basically, no, maybe 14 times to get like 14 crowns a day. In 2 days to get all the different skins. Because that's
Is that even possible without cheating?
yes, that's possible. If you're good at the game, but not if you're me.
If that's dude, that's the whole thing. It's like, I have never won one. I've gotten close a couple of times. I don't know, second or
Really?
third a few times, but I've never won one. It's
I think I won
There's
like
times where
three, four
like I have
times.
some jackass will grab me, and that ends up screwing me up. It's just like, and then
That
some of the mini games I'm just really bad at. Like, some of them that come up in the cycle, I'm just like, yeah, I won't be getting past this round because I'm just not good at them. But it's a fun game. But dude, if you win, you win. That's like, I saw your first win. You were streaming your first win, and
yeah.
dude, you were so excited. Like, you were,
No,
yes, like arms
that
in the
was
air, like so
actually
excited. It's like, that's because it took you so long to get it. Like, you had to work to get that win.
that was not my first win though. My first win was actually on the beta, and I was even more excited then. Like the
Oh,
first
I can
time I
only
really
imagine.
won. The first time I was first on one map. Like when you slide down at the end and go behind the doors, and the doors map. When I was first, I was so ecstatic. I have it recorded somewhere, but I can't show it because I can't show beta gameplay. That's not allowed. Like they said to raise it. I think I raised it. I'm not sure, but yeah, basically I could not show it. Otherwise, I would. I've done it a long time ago because it was just so fun to do that and to win and feel that exhilaration. But it dies down a little bit. Like um, it's not as easy anymore. I would say the first day the game came out, I was like always at the end, just because people
You
didn't
know,
know
we knew
how to play
what
the
was
game.
going on. Like, I think Colt Eastwood, like, when he first started playing it, he's like, I didn't even get past the first round on my first 8 attempts. He's like, I didn't qualify for the first 8 times I played it. It's like, well, yeah, it was kind of similar to me. It took me a handful of times to figure out what was going on. But I kind of cheated because, dude, you were building up this game because you were playing it in the beta, and then when you were allowed to talk about it, you kind of exploded because you were so excited about it. So you got me interested in it, and so I started watching a lot of people streaming it. Watched your stream, and I think Indie Gamer was streaming it. So I was watching those, and I was kind of picking up what the boards are. So it's like, all right, now I know what I got to do on this board and how to get through it. So the first couple times I played, I was a little bit better off because I kind of had an idea of what like half the maps were going to do to me.
Yeah, I told
But it's a fun
everyone
game.
from the beginning
Fun
that
game.
game, from the beginning I was in the beta, that it was gonna be a fun game. I didn't tell what game yet because I could not talk about that, but I told from the beginning this is gonna be the most awesome game you're gonna play this summer. Like it's gonna be one of those games that's gonna be popular for a long time. I mean, season 2 is coming real soon, so It's really interesting what they're gonna do with that, like the Middle Ages and pushing crates and stuff. I don't know how that's going to work, basically, but yeah, it's something really interesting.
I like the movement because there was a couple other games that started doing like Human Fall Flat, where like they just the way that they move is just kind of hilarious, and that's why I think Fall Guys is kind of like funny. Like just watching him trying to run around, and then when he falls over and stuff, it's just stupid. It's fun, and sometimes it's really frustrating. It's like, why the hell did you fall over? India and
It's not only that. The thing behind this game, um, it's so good for branding. This game could be bigger than we've seen yet because there could be toys, there could be like stuffed animals and stuffed beans, I guess. They're basically bean-shaped guys. I mean, no, there
yeah,
could be so
it's like an
much
egg with legs
merchant.
and arms.
Yeah, there could be so much merchandising for this game as well. Like this is gonna be one of those popular games. Like Fortnite's gonna be popular for a long time. I feel like if they keep updating the game regularly, that's like the important part. They're doing good job at getting those skins like like every 2 days, so people keep coming back for those. But yeah, it's like I'm doing on the stuff now. Avengers. I started again with Nier Automata because I haven't finished the game yet. The first time because you have to finish it 3 times, but I could not go past a certain point. I didn't know where to go, so I'm starting over again, doing that now, which is a really fun game to play, of course. And besides that, yeah, just like so many games coming out, especially now in October and November. Holy damn!
Well, there's been a lot of stuff coming, like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Like I played those games years ago and loved them. I used to be really good at them, and I'm nowhere near that good today. So it's taken me a lot longer to get through some of these boards to unlock more maps. It takes time. Like you have to like invest some time in it to get the controls down and everything like that. And then it's like, well, PGA Tour came out, and like I haven't played a good golf game in a long, long time. Like it's so much like the old Tiger Woods, where it's just really enjoyable to sit there and play it. I'm a type of gamer that'll sit there and go between a game like Fall Guys, which is real simple. You can jump in, play a couple matches, have a good time, and get out, and you're not heavily invested in it. But then there's other times when I get like serious, where it's like then I'll play FPSs, things like that, something that's just more. But it's my mood changes all the time, so I'm constantly bouncing between probably 8 to 10 games between the three systems. Like there's always something like, oh, I should probably get over to this one and finish up on that, because if I don't get that one done, then I shouldn't be like I'm always behind. So with all this stuff coming out in the fall, like everybody's like, there's no games coming at launch. I'm like, dude, I have so much crap to get through right now. I'm never gonna get caught up. Like there's new things. Like I haven't even thought of Avengers, because I knew I
Really?
was like, it's not going to fit in my schedule for quite some time. Like I'm with like Cyberpunk coming and the Ubisoft games coming. Like when am I going to have time to play it?
But Avengers not really game. Like if you go for the single player only, and even the multiplayer, like is basically an extension of the single player. It plays like the same, right? So but you can do short missions and stuff. It doesn't really like if you have like an hour to kill. It's gonna be a fun game for a long while if you go in that route. Uh, you can just play
I was
for
kind of
like
worried too, though.
20 minutes or something and just stop. Like
I
one
was kind of
mission and
worried
go.
because like early in development, it didn't look like it was coming together all that great. And then it was kind of
Um,
like the type of game that it is. It's like, well, they're not going to stop working on this at launch. Like they're going to continue to try to make this better. And it's like, well, if I wait
mhm.
maybe a month or two, there'll probably be more stuff in the game, and any of the bugs and stuff will be worked out. Because my biggest complaint this entire generation has been the big AAA games that launch and then have bad bug issues, like game breaking stuff, delete your saves. Like I don't want to deal with that anymore. I'm tired of it. Like I want to buy a game. If I pay full price, I should get a game that is complete and finished right then and there. And Avengers looked like it might not be finished at launch. So I was like, you know what? Let me see. I'll see what the Twitter world says once it comes out. And there's a lot of people talking it up, saying Avengers is really fun. There's some people saying it's a lot of fun, but it gets repetitive. Then there's some people that are like, it's just not for me. So
I was the first person to say this game gonna be nice, as well. So I'm basically the person if I really like a game, I will retell you how it is. But I told from the beginning this game gonna be huge because basically in the beta people were shitting on it a lot because it wasn't that great in the beta, but didn't have. We only have one skill tree, so we had like one page of the 3 pages. We had only a couple of missions we could do, right? They could level to like 45 or something gear score of 50. Um, like not so much. There was not the single player wasn't really unlocked. There was like one mission or 2 missions you could do story wise. But when the game came out, it exploded, man. Exploded so much. Even I didn't know this. This is the first game that came on the radio with a commercial. The radio.
oh wow.
What game comes out on a radio commercial?
See, I'm a weirdo, maybe because it's my age, but I still listen to the radio. Like I listen to the radio a lot. Like a lot of people use streaming services. I'm a radio guy. I haven't heard any commercials for that, but that would kind of freak me out. Like, did I really just hear a video game advertisement on FM radio?
But it's in Belgium. I mean, Belgium is is a freaking small country. Has nothing to do with English. And still there's like a game on the radio. Like when I was with my car, with my mother in the car, and she heard like Marvel Avengers, and I'm like, what? No, it can't be. And then I heard like, yeah, play the game now. I'm like, okay, cool. real, real commercial for Avengers on the radio. Yeah, that was
Well,
funny to
let
hear
me
though.
ask you this, because I heard somebody saying this yesterday with Avengers that it's extremely difficult to get a match going with like one of your friends. Like if I bought the game and we
No,
wanted to play together at the same time, he was saying he could not do it. It took him like over an hour. They tried like 15 different tries, could not get it to work. And it's like, isn't that the whole point of this game? Is to kind of play with your friends? It makes it more enjoyable to run through it.
maybe it depends on the platform, but on Xbox I have no issues. I played with Marion earlier today, which was on. He said thank you on Twitter for that. Thank you back, of course, Marion. And then I also played some with PK, who was on the stream a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, I had no issues at all with connecting to the guys. It just takes a little while because it's a long loading screen, but it's still okay. Like I see no problems like connecting and stuff. No connection issues. No.
Well, like here's the other thing too. Is like as because I've done this for the past couple of generations. When you start getting towards the end of a gen and the new hardware is coming, I mean, this is the first like it's ever really been like it's coming now. Where hey, you buy a game for Xbox One, it's going to be instantly improved in some way, shape, or form if you have the new hardware. So in a way, I'm kind of saving some games because it's instead of trying to rush through them or something like that. It's like, you know what? I'll wait till the new consoles come, and then after probably the first 3 months, it'll probably like I would imagine next like spring of 2021 into the summer of 2021, it might be kind of like dry. It might not be a lot to play, at least newer stuff. But then I can go back to my backlog and start playing. Like Avengers will probably be the frames per second will go up. It should be 30 to 60. And there's like Doom, I'm waiting because I know that's going to be 120 frames per second. So it's like if I buy a new TV, it does 120 frames per second. There might not be a whole bunch of games that can do that. So I'll save that one. Like I have other stuff to play. I know I'm a weirdo because people are like, dude, you haven't played Doom? And I'm like, I'm waiting. Like,
You
I
haven't
played
played
the
Doom
first,
yet? Really?
the latest one. Like I played 2016, but the newest one I played through the first level. And when I was going through it, I'm like, I'm waiting. I'm like, this is going to be awesome at 120 frames per second. So I was like, it's
Oh.
just I'm shelving it. Like I know they're going to patch this to run at 120. Like that's a Doom thing. Doom's always had high frames, so it's like there's no way they're going to let this come out with new consoles and not bump it.
Have you seen a video where they go at 1000 frames per second but do it with liquid nitrogen on a PC?
I did, but I think at the time I was on a 60 hertz screen, so I can't say it. Like
No, 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 dude.
listen to
They
them.
made a video where they build a PC, Fill it with liquid nitrogen while playing Doom. Try to get a 1000 frames a second.
They did, didn't
Insane.
they?
Yeah, yeah, it's on the YouTube. I can actually show it on the stream a little bit later if you want to. I can search for it.
So what are they going to be able to do on a 3090?
On
At
a 20,
1080p,
on a
like
3080 they can do 140 FPS, something 121 on the 40, and it looks incredibly smooth on my 144 hertz monitor, but it's only 60 frames, like for 60 hertz on YouTube, but it still looked like it was 120, 144 on my PC. It was insane. It felt
I
like it
can't even
was much
imagine.
smoother. Yeah, me neither.
I hope the new consoles can. I mean, dude, I'll take cuts to the. Like, hey, knock off the ray tracing if you have to. If you can give me an option to do 120, I would take that because there's times I would want the ray tracing, there's times I wouldn't. Like, it's
Dude,
nice to have the option to do that. It's the one thing where PC is really, really nice. It's like you can cater the game to your system and get it to play however you want.
we should
And
ask
console's
them.
kind of been locked in where you get one version of it. That's the only way you get it. So it's been kind of nice where on PS4 you get I guess the 4K version, or they try to do 4K. They do the 1440p and they do the 1080p. And it's up to you to pick which one you want the most. I typically choose 1440, but because that's the best compromise between them all. But
Mm-hmm.
I want high frames. I hate 30 frames per second. I really do. Like it, especially in open world games where you turn real fast, and it's just that's when everything just blurs. And it's
You
30 to
know.
60 is a big difference. 60 to 120 is the same difference again. Like I don't think people realize how big of a difference 120 is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, when I play a game with 144 frames per second, right, which is like the really intensive games, like Counter-Strike and stuff, and Global Offensive that I tried on this PC, it's nice. Trust me. Like if you can play 144 or 120 frames per second, you're gonna feel the difference. And that's what Phil was talking about, like the whole spiel that he was doing with the new Series X. Like you're gonna feel the console. Like you're gonna feel the difference of the generation. That's what he was going about, and that's true. That's what he was going for, and I can feel that. Like, and this chocolate cake looks so good, by the way. Mm-mm. Like that's why I studied for, so I know what he's doing. I know how this all works. So it's awesome. That's why I'm showing you guys different stuff, not only game related, all kinds of different stuff. So yeah, I think it's gonna be great, man. I'm so excited for next gen. Um, Only 60 days, something like that. Not even that anymore. 28 days left. No, 58. 58 days left or something. Matt, 58. Oh, well, he left for a second. I guess there was a connection error. I'm basically still waiting for Infinite. Hasn't responded yet. So, yeah, basically chocolate cakes, man. It's my weakness. I love. You got lost in the cake. Yeah, basically that's maybe what happened. Um, so yeah, we'll see when he comes back. Like, I just love stuff like this. Like, why a gamer? I'm a gamer, but I love to watch so much YouTube as well while not gaming. And there's sometimes that I just don't game and just watch YouTube all the time, different stuff. And Nino's, like this is Nino's home. He's a really good, like, satisfying YouTuber. He makes so much lovely stuff. Also saw a video earlier today of how they made like lollipops with panda bears in them, which is so cool. Like this looks all so yummy. And I studied this, so I know how to make it. I just don't do it. um, but yeah, if you have some questions in chat, you can always ask them. I can reply because we don't have a guest at the moment and not a host. Hey, graphic art. Hey. Matt has gone for a moment. I made a boo boo, graphic god. I thought it was at 5, but it's actually at 4. So I told everyone it's at 5, but then it was at 4, which is 10 p.m. for me. Um, Getting Outriders. I haven't seen too much gameplay yet of the game. Is it not gonna be on Game Pass? I'm not sure. I have to look that up a second. Hold on. Enjoy the cake, guys. It's a nice
My
cake.
bad, dude. My internet just dropped out.
Yeah, sometimes you like for a second your audio quality goes like down and then back up. So sometimes it's like a word I can't understand because it just goes away. But overall, I can make up out what you're saying. Outriders. Let's
Yeah, but
just
it was part of my fault because I walked in the other room with my laptop and it must have switched on my Wi-Fi. I have basically a mesh router set up here, and it must have flipped, and for some reason it dropped it. My laptop sucks. It's old. It's like 5 years old.
let's see. Let's see. Is Outriders going to Game Pass? No, we're not gonna.
How are you doing, gentlemen?
Infinite, welcome.
And Infinite.
I'm sorry, man. It was my fault. You said it was 5, and it was actually 4. So every week it's at 4 p.m. So you know, for now.
So when he tells you 5 o'clock next time, you know it's 4 o'clock.
Yes,
Obviously.
it's my fault, man. But we made it suddenly without you for a while. So
It's all
it's
right.
great to have you, man. It's great to have you, like
How
always.
are you, buddy? How you doing, Infinite?
How's you been? How you been, man?
Not too bad. Last couple of days have been crazy, but I'm here. I'm alive. No complaints.
Yeah, I work nights, so I sleep during my Sundays are taken up with sleep, trying to get myself back on schedule. Because I flop during the week, so like Friday comes, I go to bed at night rather than in the morning. But
Wait, do you
I'm
work?
here.
You
So,
always work nights?
yeah, I always work nights.
Ah, man, that's tough. I used to work rotating shift. I used to work basically on the sixes, 6 to 6. We used to flip flop back and forth. But I was so
That's
grateful to go
fair.
back on date. Like it was good and it's bad because your body's always out of whack because you're constantly either on night shift or day shifts. But at least you get like some kind of a normal life because with day shifts, yeah, if you have to go to the football games or that type of stuff, you're not working. But nights are tough, man. All nights, all the time is tough. I'm gonna hand it to you. That's not easy to do.
Yeah, it was out of necessity at first. My mother used to live with us when she retired, and she used to watch kids. And then I eventually she moved down to Florida with my sister, so I didn't want to pay for daycare. Daycare is like the price of my mortgage. So I was like, forget that. So I went to third.
Yeah, and then you know what? Some people do like night shift. Like when I was on nights, I used to like coming home from work and then like going to the store, like going to like the supermarket or something on like a Tuesday. Everybody's at work, so it's kind of like the world's almost open to you. It's like 90% of the world's occupied while you get to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's very true.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Bobby Steele, I do have to say I checked Outriders. It's not going to Game Pass as we know it. I'm probably gonna get the game if I have enough money because I do want to buy the X and the PlayStation 5 at launch. And I do have to see I have enough funds for that. So I'm not entirely sure if I will get it on launch. I don't even know when it's releasing yet. Does anyone know when Outriders releases? Infinite? Do you know?
Nope, never happened. Not even on my radar.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Basically.
have no idea either.
Well,
So it's only recently started to come onto my radar of like games to even pay attention to.
I think that's even not a game that's even on my radar at the moment. I haven't like seen enough yet. I know there's been some gameplay and some videos about it, but yeah, I haven't seen those yet. So I'll guess I'll take a look sometime in the future, and maybe on the next stream or something, I'll put some gameplay up and talk about that. I don't know what's going to happen. We'll see. But yeah, basically cakes, man. Nice sweet cakes.
There's a couple of people on Twitter who make some pretty cool cakes that I follow.
Like?
I don't remember her name, but she did that one awesome cake for was it Fable when they announced it? Just
Okay.
pitched that one. And there's another person that does cakes as well, but it's usually game themed cakes. I don't remember the names offhand. People always share them out, so eventually I started saying them.
Mm-hmm.
And some of those people put some serious time into those cake things that they cut open like an Xbox One. It's like they look like the real thing. It's like, how long did that take to make it? And then you're gonna ruin it.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that's how it works, man. You just make a cake and then you destroy it on camera. No, basically when you're gonna cut it, you have to eat it some way. I mean, you cannot just let it be getting harder and not eatable anymore, right? Would be
Oh yeah,
stupid to
no,
do.
I'm teasing. I love cake. I'll eat the hell out of cake. I don't care what it looks like.
I can eat cake, but I couldn't eat cake with Jello.
What? Cake with?
With Jello, you know the Jello,
Oh, like he's doing now with
like
the
yeah, with the
jello in the
Jello in
middle?
it. Yes,
Oh.
could do it.
Do they call it
Yeah,
agar
it'd be weird.
agar? It's like agar agar, but it's not really jello. It's something else, like more harder, firm. You don't have to cook it, basically. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah, that just looks like. Yeah, it doesn't look very appetizing. The gelatin looking stuff. Nope.
No, because
Yeah,
it's
it's like
not
it's scripted
gelatin
too.
exactly. It's something else. But hey, I'm gonna show you guys a magic trick. Like this is a magic trick from Davy Blaine with Zach King. If you know those two, like such good magicians. They did something on camera.
Well, one's a magician, one's a videographer that can change some things. Not really. He's not really a
Ah, it's
magician. I think.
basically almost the same thing, man.
Nah, I think you're giving disrespect to David Blaine.
Disrespect?
Yeah, because that's not really true magic.
Yeah,
He's not doing it live, is he? I mean, a little
David
different.
Blaine, is he not doing it
David
live?
Blaine does. David Blaine is, but the guy next to him isn't.
Oh, Zakin, no, he makes like different cuts and edit them together
Yeah.
and stuff. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Like with every video. No, it's not about the fondant graphic card. It's about the blubber stuff. And who the hell is Bobo?
Bobo the Clown.
Uh huh. Yeah, who's Bobo the clown?
You know who Bobo the Clown is?
No.
You gotta Google him.
Mm. I don't know, man. I don't know what Bobo the clown is. So yeah, man, this was so awesome when I saw this the first time. I thought like, hey, I need to put this on the on the on the stuff.
That's pretty good.
That's good. That's right. That's nice done, right? I love that, man. It's so fun. And then we got another fun video of Fall Guys.
I don't know about this.
Damn, no.
Oh, come on. She's cool. I promise.
So I'm not gonna show you audio, of course, because I cannot, like if there's a music screen there or stuff. So I'm just gonna let you watch it. But this is like part 2 of the Fall Guys logic, which is so fun to watch. Like those videos are so cool for me. Like up my alley. There's even like a fun one from Mario with Mario Kart. That's like really insanely done, but yeah, it's fun.
How long till we get a Fall Guys like kart racer?
Oh my god, you're bringing. Oh dude, oh dude, oh dude. They have to do every type of game with Fall Guys now. Think about it.
Oh,
Fall
they could put
Guys.
in levels like that. I think if they did small levels with like little cars, they could do something. I don't know how
Not
hard it is to
not
like how
into Fall
demanding that
Guys.
game is,
I
but
think it has to be a separate game, like on the side.
I could add as a level, I'm sure, right? Why not? Maybe on something.
I would be fun as a kart racer, and if they, like you were saying earlier, if they start making like a bunch of these dolls and start selling them, and it becomes super popular, they will milk the hell out of this franchise.
Yeah, and that's basically a lot of different guys already like brands already going after it. So it's so fun to see. This is so fun to see. Um, but yeah. Oh my god. Ah,
Man,
Infinite help.
this kind of reminds me, like, I don't know, Battlefield Friends. I used to love that YouTube show. That was the funniest thing.
Uh-huh.
And I haven't really gotten that Fall Guys thing yet. Then again, I haven't played it either, so you can probably the shit out of that.
You have to play, man. You have to play it.
Yeah, it was free on PlayStation, but I didn't buy. I didn't have my subscription up for PlayStation, and I haven't bought it on Steam yet. So.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you got it for free, it's a no brainer. I mean, even if you try it, you don't like it, no big deal. But it sucks you put out $20 for it and you hate it, because I could definitely see people hating Fall Guys, just not being their style of game.
The funny thing is, it can be so infuriating and fun at the same time.
Oh, it is. Like, it's you sit there, everything will be going good, and the next thing you know, it's like, what the hell? It's like, you son of a bitch, why'd you touch me?
Yeah.
Because there's so much you can't control. Like, you can only do so much for your thing, but you can't stop the other people from messing you up. So it's a lot of luck. I mean, there and try to go through it and use your brain, but it's going to depend on the other people in the match. Because if they're dumb, then they can screw you over. That's why it's a fun game. It's just it's predictable. It's unpredictable. You have no idea what will happen.
By the way, hi Stubbs. Yeah, you can hear us now. In the beginning, Infinite, you were not here, but man, we were talking for like 5 minutes and everything was muted.
Good shit.
So it seems that the sounds from your mixer are over all your different show like scenes, and I muted them all except for the background video one, and they basically like fucked me up on on my own discussion scene that I was muted. Everything was muted. Yeah. Um. Yeah. This stupid. Oh my god. Also, I found something really funny today, like just before the show. This is a deep fake of all things Avengers, but like with the real actors from the MCU in there. So basically, the heroes are MCU. Like it's so funny. Like hold on, let me get to a scene. A little bit further. I think it's over here already. Yeah, see, he's different. Um, let me go to a real scene. There. See, that's Chris Evans. It looks so different and weird. It's so fun. Like this is Scarlett Johansson.
It does a pretty good job, man. It looks just like him. Chris Evans did look a little weird. His eyeballs didn't.
Yeah, and that's Thor basically, Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, it
It's
definitely does look a little different now.
uh-huh. It looks weird. It looks like movie quality instead of game quality now. And that was a small part of Bruce Banner, like the real one. And don't forget Iron Man, of course, a little bit later. It's and then yeah, he wants you not to copy his content, so he put like a big marker here, like Baby Zone.
Yeah.
So that's funny to see. But I will put this video in the description as well, so there's no stuff here that can take away someone else's content. Yeah, and that's Robert Downey Jr. So cool. I love it. Never got the real Thor. It's so
It's really
weird.
cool, man. It's weird, but that's really cool
Uh-huh.
technology, man.
Yeah, it's only getting worse. But there's already been videos out from people saying things that were not being said, basically. Like, I don't know how that all works, but yeah. Okay, let's put this over. Let's do something else. Some more gameplay maybe of Kingdoms of Amalur. Let's go back to that. Let's give it a like. Let's go. My party chat invites. What do you mean, stops? Can you tell me? Oh, dude, that was like yesterday. Yesterday I tried to invite you to the game because you're basically going through the game on Avengers and I wanted to join as well. So yeah, I was like, hey, let's play together, but you didn't see them and you were not on ignore or renting, so yeah, that was fun. Um, I'm really like out of stuff. I don't know what to talk about. Help me out, guys.
Is this the new video for the new Re-Reckoning, or is this the old
Yeah, that's
version?
Re-Reckoning. It looks exactly the same. Like, only the graphics got a bump, but the combat is as clunky as it was back in the day. The game looks exactly the same. You do got all the DLC, like all the weapons you get in the beginning, with like the higher end packs you get like in this version. So it basically gives you like 10,000 gold from the beginning of the game, which is like so much. So basically, they're breaking the game by giving you more stuff.
Oh, nice. That's always a lovely thing.
Yeah, and there's nothing you can do about it except for maybe buy a lot of potions and then sell them again for lower. But the game is enjoyable. But I'm going to need
So
a
it wasn't
lot of
really it
hours.
wasn't really a remaster. It was just more of a
A resell. I
upgraded version, kind of
I
like you
don't
get when you
feel
guys.
this is remaster worthy. Sorry.
Yeah, you guys play Fallout 3 when the Xbox One X first came out. I was like, oh my god, this game looks absolutely amazing. Did you guys ever boot Fallout 3 up and play that on the X?
I checked it out. I wasn't a fan of that game. I don't know what it was like, and it's weird because I love the Elder Scrolls games, and I didn't care for the Fallout one. But yeah, that was a beautiful game on there.
Yeah,
I,
Fallout 3 was a great game. I enjoyed it. I played the shit out of it. But I mean, I started on the computer, then I moved to the Xbox because the old lady was wanting to watch on the big TV. So I started playing on the Xbox and we finished it there. But when I booted it up on the X, I was like, wow, the graphic fidelity, the upturn on it was ridiculous. And I don't even think it was enhanced. It was just they just opened up the graphics in the max settings. It looked absolutely gorgeous in the beginning.
Mhm.
yeah, because I bought like Wolfenstein 2, and that came out right about the time the X did. And that was just night and day difference because that was actually 4K but no HDR. And that game was just unbelievable. Like that was like, this is why I bought this console. It's doing something my old one absolutely could not.
Yes.
Because like I have a bigger TV, and it's like it helps. Like the more like 4K really does help. So like
Oh,
going back to an S at this point is like it's brutal on my TV. I can't stand it because some games look way better.
so Bobby Steele has another question for us. He wants us to know like what groups or factions of enemies would we like to have in the Avengers game. Does anyone know more
God,
about the Avengers, like in general, with the comics maybe, or like more about the enemies? Because
I wish I was the comic guy. I'm not, unfortunately.
yeah, Bobby Steele. I'm also not really a comic guy. Are you a comic guy, Infinite?
DC Comics. I wasn't into Marvel. No.
Yeah, then we cannot really like answer that question. Like, there's one faction I do know that is Kree, and I do know at the end. Oh no, can't spoil. Sorry. like I do want to see maybe those guys because it would be cool with the shape-shifting they have like from the movie I saw. So I don't know if that's gonna be there, but if they are gonna be there, that's gonna be cool. But that's like the only faction I know. So maybe Mormandu comes back. I don't know. I don't know anything about those. The Avengers, like from early back in the comic days. I'm from Belgium. We don't do comics here in. Not so much. We don't do. We don't have our own comic brands, except for like Smurfs. The Smurfs was back here in Belgium, in back in the day, and we have Asterix and Obelix, which was also from Belgium. So. Those are two Belgian cartoons. And then we got our own Belgian cartoons, but they're basically nothing like those cartoons, like Marvel and comics and superheroes and stuff. We don't have that, basically.
Did you get any Avengers game time in this weekend, guys?
A little bit,
I surely.
a little bit.
I haven't even bought it yet.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to be pressured into it because a lot of people seem to be playing it, and it's hey, I'll jump on.
Maybe
It's good.
if you really wanna enjoy the game, try to get a few friends together. I would say you can play the single player, right? Because the single player you can still have missions with friends, but I would suggest go to the single player alone, just for the sake of it, because it would be better for you
To get
overall.
like an idea how like everything works and all that, I guess. So then when you play with somebody, you're kind of helpful instead of being
Yeah, it's
a
basically
wait.
also not that long. It's like let's say 12 hours tops to play from top to bottom. In the
Oh, that's
single
not
player.
bad.
Like
Jesus,
just the story,
that's
right?
nothing.
Maybe a little bit grind on the side, but you don't have to. And if you really need help, you can get that and have people like in the party to boost you through the story if you really want to.
Yeah, see, I haven't played any of the campaign. I've just been playing straight online.
No,
And you
I
guys
don't
both have
have.
it on
haven't even
Xbox,
started the
right?
campaign.
Also,
Yeah.
yeah, I played on Xbox. I was thinking of going to PC and buy it on there as well, but no, not now. The new consoles. Then I'm gonna buy both of them. I'm not gonna like buy any games anymore. I guess maybe one game next month that I really like, but that's gonna be it. Basically, I really want to get both consoles on day one. So. Also, Bobby Steele has another question like, do we want a Switch 2 or a new new Nintendo console? I
I wouldn't
mean,
mind another Switch, but I barely play the one I have now, so it's going to be hard to justify buying another Switch if it doesn't come under the price of that Series S. I'll tell you that much. As small as that is, you know how many places? I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, like when I think they have them for the Xbox too, but for my PlayStation, I used to have this carry kit. It used to come, you put it in a little box and you could take it in the car or whatever, as long as you had a power source and its own little screen and speakers.
mhm,
It's like a little traveling kit. I
yeah.
used to play the shit out of it on there. Same when the PS3 Small Slim came out. You could hook it up to that too, it would fit in the box. But I forget the name of the screen or the company that made it. But it worked out really well. But I couldn't imagine another Switch right now. Mine sits as it is.
I'm kind of in the same boat, man. Like I got a Switch right before my first surgery because I knew I was going to be in hospital for like 10 days. I was just like, I got to have something in there. I'll go crazy. So I picked it up. And the only time I really ever play it is when I have no access to my PlayStation or my Xbox. So like if I go camping or something, or go visit family, I'll grab it because there might be times where I want to sit there and play a game. But outside of that, like I don't know, there really hasn't been that many games that I've been dying to play because like I love the Zelda games, but I'm done with those and I'm waiting around. The Super Mario. The funny thing is, the new Super Mario game everybody's kind of pissed off about. I've never finished any of it. I haven't played two of those games, and even Super Mario 64, I never finished it. Like
I'm
I was bored of it back then when it came out, and I just didn't really care because I was so tired of Mario. I don't know, I was probably playing Mario 10 years at that point.
yeah, and I also think like for me as well, like those Mario games that come out later this month. Is that not like in a couple of days on Thursday? 17th?
I'm trying to think when the release date is. It is coming up soon.
Hold on, let me check this. But basically, I'm so glad they come out again because I haven't played any of those. Like I did want to play 64 for a long time. I tried on the PC, had a lot of frame rate issues, and didn't want to like try to solve anything, so I just deinstalled it. And the other game, Sunshine, man, this it's gotta be so good. I mean, that's one of the most underrated Mario games. I think that's there. Like it was a sleeper hit, but still like nobody bought it. I think it
I've never
was.
seen that game. I've never seen any. I've never seen
Yeah,
that game.
that's what I
Nope.
mean. If you haven't seen the game, it's a sleeper hit.
And I know people are like, it's one of the best Mario's of all time. Like, it's one of those you have to play. And it's like, so this collection for me, like, I'm one of those lucky few where it's like, I don't mind paying $20 a game.
Hold on.
And it doesn't really matter to me that they're not upgraded, but it does suck for everybody else that's out there that had these gamers originally. And they're not doing anything special to them.
No, pre-orders. I have to go to pre-orders. Oops.
Yeah,
And
the
you know, a
only thing
year from now, it'll still be $60.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they're already selling it for what, 6 months? I guess they're only selling until April, right, or May, and then they're pulling it. Like, I don't know what the hell they're doing over there.
The only thing I ever played on my Switch is I played I like Civilization, and I bought it for the Switch so I can lay in bed and with the old lady while she's watching TV or whatnot or movies, and I can sit there and play it. And I've played that and Diablo 3. I mean, other than that, I played all the other ones on there, but that's about it. That's the most time I think I have any games on the Switch,
Alright.
and they're multiplied obviously because they're on the PC.
Okay, so Mario.
You know what it would
comes
help though if they come out with a Switch 2, if they actually get like a real online service where I don't have to memorize a bunch of stupid numbers that I'll never memorize because I don't want to.
Yeah, then use your phone for party chat.
Yeah, like have everything tied in so it's normal, like what Xbox and PlayStation have been doing for generations now. Like, can you make it so like if I want to play with somebody, it's simple to find them, and then easy to get into games, and I can just plug in a headphone or headset and be ready. Like,
Yeah.
Do
I
you
have so many
guys-
issues with Nintendo that are just not gaming. Like their games are good, but it's other stuff they do that drives me nuts.
Is it like, do you think it was an afterthought to maybe get in the party chat and stuff because they didn't think it was going to get used a lot?
No, I just think they didn't want to use. They didn't want to do it.
I think they're too worried about kids. I honestly do. I think that I think that's a big part of it is they don't like because
Yeah.
they know that most of their base is young, and them having online access is probably not the greatest idea.
Yeah, their base is young and their buyers are nostalgic, so it goes hand in hand when parents are buying their kids games, especially when they're the younger age.
Hey, every kid I know that's under like 12 years old has a Switch. And they don't always necessarily have an Xbox or a PlayStation, but they always have a Switch. So it is. I think a big part of their base is young, under 18. I mean, then you have guys like us who've been playing Nintendo for 30 years, 35 years, and for us, it's kind of like a nostalgia trip.
Yeah, so one of the first things you want to do is play Nintendo, play Mario with them, you know.
Yeah. Nintendo, I do not want to say that they're cheap. I mean, it's still a little bit expensive for me to buy a Switch and stuff. Still like $300 for a machine. That's basically okay. You can travel with it anywhere, but how many people have a Switch and don't play it as much or play more on other stuff? I mean, there's a lot of people. I think $300 for that. It's like, yeah, I've put on some funny video, by the way, if you want to laugh out loud. Yeah, I think it's a little bit like, I won't buy a second Switch if like the games don't port over. Like I would only buy one then if it like doesn't port over the games, probably. So
The worst thing with Nintendo systems is like, okay, the system is $300, which isn't too bad. You can sit there and probably scrape together money for that, but it's the Nintendo tax you pay. Every game is $60. Like you might get a $5 discount years after release. So it's kind of like, well, if I buy a PlayStation or an Xbox, if I wait 3 months or 4 months after a game launches, I can usually get it for like half price. Sometimes even worse because if it didn't really sell well, then they'll discount it even more. It's Nintendo's expensive. Like almost every game I bought, I paid $60 for. I don't think there's many I didn't. Like,
Yeah, well, they don't leave you much choice. Like you go to GameStop, like you said, even the used games are like $5 less than a new one. You want to just buy a new one. Somebody had to have their fingers on it yet.
I'm weird with that stuff. I don't like, especially cartridges. It's like I don't know what this person did to it. Maybe they stuck an order like an idiot. Like, I don't like taking that risk. It's like I'll just spend the extra $5 and get the brand new one.
Yeah, that's I'll spend $5-10 more instead of buying the used one. I'm the same way. I'm like, I don't know where their fingers have been. I'll just buy the used one or buy the new one.
But even anymore, like I'm I don't have a problem with, like, I think even on Xbox and PlayStation you get discounts pretty quick, like even through the digital store, which I could get them physical cheaper much earlier, but I don't want to deal with the discs anymore. It's too much for me.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm way more digital than I am physical these days, unless it comes to the Switch, and then obviously I always buy physical because I know the resale value is there. But like, don't think that Valhalla won't be steeply discounted in December, because they always are. So I never buy like Assassin's Creed day one, because in 2 months later it's going to be $40 on the Christmas sale on the Xbox store.
No, you're right. I picked up Origins, I think, for like $20. I picked up Odyssey, I think, for like 30.
Yeah, I always buy the deluxe editions, and they're always $40 at Christmas. The year they come out, months after they come out. I did the same thing with Wolfenstein. I mean, they always are. It never fails.
I'm a huge Wolfenstein fan, so I almost always buy that day one. And I know that if I was to wait a month, I could probably get it for $20-30 cheaper, but that's like one of my oldest franchise. I remember playing that back in the 80s, like before it was actually what it is now. It's software, but
yeah. See, I played Wolfenstein back in the day after I played Doom. I just couldn't get into it. I don't know if it was all the swastikas made me feel funny inside or what, but I mean, I understand being older. I understand the premise of it now, but I didn't understand the premise of it when I was younger. So.
Yeah, my favorite online game to this day is still Return to Castle Wolfenstein on the original Xbox, because it is before Halo 2, and you had like Crimson Skies, games like that were out that were fun to play, but the communities weren't that big. And then Return to Castle Wolfenstein came out, and I lived on that game for, I don't even know, 6 months. It was just so much fun, and the community was good because everybody had the microphones because it came with the original Xbox. It was just like, this is the future of gaming. Like, you no longer have to sit on a couch with somebody to play a game with them.
Yeah.
Because I was 20 years old at the time when Xbox Live launched. Something like that. Maybe even older than that. But maybe probably in my 20s.
What year did Xbox Live launch?
2002, I believe.
See, I was stuck playing, and I'm sure, and you guys have probably heard me say before, but I was stuck playing Ultima Online. That was online, and it was top-down isometric, kind of like Doom or Diablo is, and I played that from 98 to, I don't know, probably 2010, like nonstop, every day. Like, I tried to play other online games like Star Wars Galaxies, WoW. I tried to get into them, but I was always going back to that one. It's still on. It's still there today, but yeah, I spent all my time playing those games. I couldn't help myself but play Ultima Online.
I never got into that. Never got into World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I used to make gold and sell it on eBay back before they stopped allowing it. $25 a mil. I made so much money being younger. I thought I was rich as fuck.
Hey, it's a business opportunity. You might as well take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Because if you enjoy collecting all that money, it's just like it's not a job for you if you enjoy it.
Yeah, it came easy.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think the price for the PlayStation 5 is going to be this week?
$499.
$499 and 450 or 400. If they really can go 400, would be amazing. It's still the same power in the box, just without the disk drive. So they can really pinch that low, but I don't think they can. I even think in my own head, with my consciousness, I do think it's gonna be more expensive for them. They're probably gonna bite their chin off and maybe sell it at 500 to take a little loss on it in the end. But
I think they wanted $549 and $499, and Xbox screwed that up when they came in at $499. I think Sony really thought that they were going to be $600.
They might even do 450, 400. just to do it, just to spite them, like they always do every year
They
or
can't
every console
basically.
release. They can. Don't say they can't. They can.
Well, the
They-
other thing is,
what-
too, is
what
Xbox
they
will come
would
out and
take.
match it and be like, you know what? Since they're selling it for $450, we want to sell ours for $450. There's
If they
nothing
do.
stopping Microsoft from doing that. Like,
No.
so Sony's got to kind of weigh that into their decision too. It's like, are we just going to give away $50 for no reason? Because if Microsoft matches this, then all of us are just losing a ton of money for no reason. It'd be consumer friendly, I guess, because everybody gets a system for cheaper.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to be consumer friendly, even Xbox. But
I really don't think they want to sell them for a loss. Like, I really don't. Because the cost at it, like estimates we see, is just parts, right? Like that's not assembling the thing. That's not putting it in a box. Not putting it to ship it across the world, then giving it to a retailer where they're going to ship it all over the country and put it in the stores. Like, oh, there's got to be an extra $50 in there somewhere, $70 in there somewhere.
Well, I think there's so many digital purchases this console. I mean, it lasts towards the end of the gen, obviously, and then now this one, a lot of the games are gonna be digital. I very guarantee you they'll see there's some money to be made up and they'll make it up.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious what they'll be. I really don't. I don't think we'll see $399. I would love it, but
by the way,
I don't think it's going to be possible.
By the way, I'm gonna be on a live stream with someone else on his channel, discussing the live stream. So I'm gonna be there live discussing what's gonna be showed. It's gonna be gameplay showed as well. So it's gonna be interesting. So to say the least.
I hope there's one game we don't know about in there. I really do. I hope there's something coming that is really nice
God
and
of
everybody
War?
wants that they haven't.
God of War.
That's going to be too far out, I think. That's got to still be two
But you
years
know
away.
Sony shows off games that are like so many years out. They do.
I can't stand that practice. I hate it because the game that we get never looks like, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, oh, this is the target of what we're going to aim for on the next game.
But maybe because we're having much more power now. Look how Ratchet and Clank looks, right? So they can basically not do a big downgrade anymore because it's not gonna like be that big of a deal anyway. Especially if it's PlayStation 5. Like the Series X could still do that a little bit, I think, but it's gonna be less common. Like when you just look at it, right? You know that the Series X and the Series S, then of course, like you still have the older consoles. Like as long as they are in the picture, maybe we still have that problem a little bit. Like going with the next generation, that we still have a little bit more of a downgrade when the final product launches, but it's not going to be visible anymore. Not so much like this generation was anyway. So.
Well, like I said before, I'll say it again. I don't care how expensive the PS5 is going to be because I'm not going to buy it day one. And then I didn't care how expensive the Xbox Series X was going to be either because I was going to buy it day one. So it's a catch-22 on that one. But I'm not going to buy both consoles day one. I'll buy my Series X first, and then I'll wait a year or two, and then that's when I'll pick up the PlayStation.
I'm gonna buy both day one. I want to have them. Also because I'm a news channel. When new games come out, I wanna cover them. Like that's gonna be.
The one nice thing about getting a new console early, especially if it's your secondary, like your PS5 will be your secondary, I guess. But when a game does come out, is that you have to it immediately, and you're not building up a backlog on a console you don't own yet. Because like PS4, I waited till the Pro came out. I didn't get one until then. And then I had like a whole handful of games to play. And then it's like, well, there's still new releases coming that I want to play on Xbox too. And it's like, man, so to me, it's almost like there's a lot of pressure to try to get caught up on all the games that came out earlier because I didn't have the option earlier. But I think a PS5 I'm going to pick up earlier this gen. I think I'll get it like, if I don't get it right at launch, I'll get it when I can walk into a store 6 months later and just grab one.
Okay, I do want to say you bring up an interesting point. It is true, like if you have multiple consoles, that you have more games to play, so you actually have a bigger backlog overall. So that's something we do to ourselves most of the time. Like it is interesting when you think about it, like what you're saying.
It is, but I look at it this way, dude. There's one console puts out more games in a generation than you could ever in probably 3 generations. Like there's what 4,000 games on the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. essentially what it allows you to do is like, hey, this game's kind of like it's not really my style. Like I'll probably enjoy it, so I'll pick it up and play it at some point. What I end up doing is that you just start cutting off the lower stuff that you're kind of interested, you're not really that interested in. Like Avengers, if I miss it, I'll live. There's other stuff I want to play that's far more important to me. But if I can get to it, great. But so it's kind of nice because like Sony had a lot of games this gen that they're just not my style of games. Like everybody loves God of War, and I did enjoy it. The story was great, but I'm not
Yes.
the combat for me is that's not my style of combat.
Really?
I hated the combat in God of War. I'm not like that's I like first person shooters and I hate third person perspective if I'm being honest. I just don't like how the camera moves and all that. But
So you probably we can be sure that you're not gonna buy Avengers because it is third person.
I'll buy a game if we play it online. Like I'll buy games if people are a bunch of people I know are playing it. I'll buy it just to get in and enjoy it with other people.
Message me,
If I was to buy it
senpai.
only play myself, I don't think I would enjoy it as much. If I just played it solo, I wouldn't enjoy it.
Yeah,
So that's kind of like if I have a reason, I'll jump in.
yeah, I do think you have to have friends to make more fun in games overall. Basically, games is single player. Like when it's a single player game, okay, you have a lot of cutscenes, you have to watch them. Like there are some people that skip them, but I don't. But basically, then you're like, shh, there's a cutscene, so I'm glad I have them. Then single player, like God of War and stuff like that. There's a lot of cutscenes in there. But basically, when it's like another game like Avengers and stuff, yeah, you need people. You need to play with people. If there's a co-op option, you have to play it. Like it's so much more fun overall, basically.
It is, and it's where it kind of like. Well, I think I'm gonna have more time now on weekends because there's a couple community gaming nights there through Twitter. Noof Nukem runs one. Mr. Tushi runs one.
Yes, they're connected. Yes.
I want to get into that stuff more because like the one time I did get in, it was so much fun playing with all these guys I talk to regularly, and I don't care what the game is. Like they were like, oh, we're not sure of the game. It's like just tell me so I make sure I have it. Then we did Titanfall 2, and so it kind of varies, but it's so much fun when you have people to play with. It's so much better. Like I can play certain games by myself online with no problem, but there's other games where I'm just I don't enjoy it as much. Sea of Thieves is a perfect example. I hate that game by myself.
Oh
It's
yeah.
fun as hell with people.
Oh, dude, I hate that game by myself as well. That game is not played for.
Avengers is like that for me. I can't play that game by myself, but I can play it with other people. That's probably
Yeah,
why I didn't play it this weekend.
but that's like most games. Like, uh, if you don't have that story single player, right? Where you have a lot of cutscenes, you have to play those games with friends. It's just more fun. There's nothing you can do about it.
I'm kind of curious too where game design is going to go next gen because
Oh damn.
multiplayer is becoming bigger and bigger every single year, and more games are adding it that we really haven't had that before. So, I mean, what are we? What kind of experiences are going to come up with? Because it's going to get they're going to get more intense with like Fall Guys. Nobody saw Fall Guys coming, and that was such a huge hit. Where now, what type of games are we going to get that are similar to Fall Guys to try to take advantage of that momentum it built?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jago did a good, or not Jago, but Dragon did a good question. Dragon Wolf said, "Do you guys think any mid-gen refresh this gen around?"
We don't need to.
Yeah, I don't think
Why
we'll have
would
one.
we? I mean,
Maybe I think the only thing we'll get was maybe updated larger hard drives towards the middle. And that's about it.
no, they're just gonna, yeah, like the bigger hard drive stuff for Xbox, right? And then we have the third party things for Sony, but maybe Sony will do like a gen refresh, but that would be it. I don't think Xbox, like they're already like working on the next console, like it's rumored they got a V-shaped console.
Oh yeah, the V. You guys think that rumor's true?
No,
No.
Xbox Series X, no disk drive.
no, come
Yeah.
on.
So
Just think about it. Do you think they're gonna like announce now even a new one without a disk drive for the X? No, man. Maybe in 2 years they will. Like if digital becomes way bigger, they maybe will update to have a new console model without a disk drive for the X. But that's basically it. I think the rest is gonna be basically just something like yeah.
bigger hard drives will probably come later. You probably put a 2 gig in there. That stuff when that tech comes down in price, but I don't know. You know what? I think they might actually just try to speed up how fast we get consoles. Instead of doing 7-year cycles, maybe get it down to 5-year cycles, 6-year cycles.
But where
Because
do
it
we
took
go
what
next?
PlayStation.
9? How long have we been in Gen
Okay,
for
but
Xbox One?
This has been 7 years,
7 years?
2013.
think about
Because
it.
the PlayStation Pro came out 3 years after the PS4, and Xbox One X came out 4 years after. So if they just moved it up to like a 5-year cycle, it would piss off probably the more casual people because they have to buy more consoles more frequently. But as a gamer, like you get more technically advanced games quicker. I just don't know what that magic thing is. Like 7 years is too long, and I really did like the mid-gen refreshes because they did something.
Yeah, they did do something. I don't think anything's gonna do something this time around.
Yeah, they can't. Interest in 8K. None. If you have an 85-inch.
There is an 8K TV, but it's so expensive.
Yeah, I mean, in 5 to 10 years, they'll be the price of 4K TVs are now.
No. 8K is not gonna be generalized for a long time. For a long time.
I don't know, man, because TV, like what the TV companies will end up doing is they'll hold back their best tech, like their best processor for their TVs, and the TV that does like all the specs, they'll lock that to the 8K. It's what they did with 4K back in like 2013, 2014. All the TV manufacturers started putting their best tech in the 4K because they wanted to push that. So if you bought a 1080p in 2014, 2015, it wasn't a high quality TV because they were already moving on to 4K. And they'll do it with 8K. It doesn't make any damn sense because most people, like an 85-inch TV, you have to sit 3.5 feet from to get all the 8K offers. Now think about it. Like if you're sitting down, how long are your legs up to your knees? Like 2 feet? Like you're going to sit a foot from a screen. It's absolutely insane. It's like, well, if you had a projector of 130 or 140 inches, an 8K could maybe make sense, but 4K doesn't make sense for people. I don't know. I know a lot of people have small TVs and sit far from them, and it's like, yeah, I wouldn't go even bother with 4K for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're that far away from it, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, but I mean, there's one TV that's like 8K on the market right now, or two, but it's not going to be mainstream for a long time. I mean, 4K is even still, if you want a good 4K TV, it's still expensive. Like I got a C9 that cost me €2,000 with an hanging system that goes against the wall where you can like take your stuff out of the wall, like your TV out, turn it to both sides, and that cost like 400. So it's still expensive to get a nice TV and get a good stand for that and stuff. So no, 8K is gonna be miles off. Even the tech, like now we're getting in the 4K realm, right? With the new graphic cards from PC. We're not talking about consoles. The new PC graphic cards are gonna take your ray tracing with 4K to a good level. That's gonna be at 60 frames a second, right? That's it.
Yeah.
That's where we are now. 8K is miles away.
I think it'll be pretty close in 10 years. You'll be surprised how
10
fast
years. 10 years I would give it, yeah, but not 5.
Just about time the next gen. 10K will be affordable, just like 4K is now in 10 years. That'll be the next gen will be out, and it'll be 8K TVs in people's houses already.
Like 8K is already down to like $3,500. I think Samsung's they just released a new model like a week ago, E700T, whatever. But it's like $3,500 for a 65-inch, I think, for an 8K TV. But the problem is it has a crappy processor in it, and it's really not anything better than a 4K TV. But
what?
They're pushing it, and they're trying to get the prices down. Because they initially had, I guess, a 900 or an 800, and then they came out with a 700 or whatever it is. Real recently, and it's just like $1,000 less than the other one. But I could buy one. I mean, if I'm looking at a 77-inch OLED, I'm looking at 8K TVs at the same price range.
Yeah, I've been looking at the Samsung 70QT, the new one that just came out this past year, and it has a 2.1 HDMI, and it's down to $800 now at Best Buy.
Mm-hmm.
That's QLED.
This was a disappointing year for TVs for me because like the C9 to the C10 really wasn't anything drastic. I mean, a lot of people are buying the C9 over the C10 because there's no big differences, and then all the other TV manufacturers do like. I'm not happy with Sony. They still don't have HDMI 2.1 until they do a firmware update. But it's like, when's that coming? Is that coming around the console launch, or is it going to come in March of next year? Like, I just, if I was buying a TV now, I don't trust a lot of the manufacturers to get the HDMI 2.1 spec correct. And I don't need to be a tester. I'll let somebody else go out and figure it out. And
Yeah.
when they report back everything's golden, it's like, all right, I'll go buy a TV.
The OLED C9 is the only one I know that's gonna be good with the HDMI 2.1 for sure.
On the C10, the newer one, this year's model.
Yeah,
See-
man, like I
Yeah,
said,
the
don't
C10
don't
probably
sleep
as
on
well.
the QLED. The 70T has it's just 2.1 as well.
Okay,
They're
so
gearing
there's,
it up against. They're showing it off at Best Buys with the Xbox One X.
But
It'll-
Samsung only has one HDMI 2.1 import, right? Like,
Yeah,
there's only
it's
one input.
Only one input, yeah.
So for me, it's a breaker. Now, for some people, it's fine. They're just like, oh, I'll just get an Xbox, and
But
that's
for
all.
you,
I'm
if
gonna
you're
have.
an audiophile, you have, but does your receiver not intake one and output the rest? Like, does it
Oh,
not
dude,
have?
I'm just stereo for my stereo.
Oh, okay.
But my surround sound setup is all through my headphones. Like, I'm waiting on a device to come. It should be here soon, hopefully, but way beyond what anybody would ever want to spend or probably care. But no, I run a regular stereo setup. It's pretty simple setup for my TV because I usually use headphones.
Yeah, Stubb says, I know 4K, they say 4K hasn't taken off, but I don't have a single LCD in this house. They're all 4K TVs. Kids all have one. I have one. They're so fucking cheap.
I bought a Samsung, like a Q6, I think it was last year,
Mhm.
a 40-inch. It was the smallest 4K TV I could get because I wanted to put it in my camper, and my camper's tiny. So it was the biggest size I could get would be a 40-inch, and it's a nice TV. It wasn't expensive. It was like $200, $240 for a 4K TV with HDR. Can't beat it. You're getting what 85% of the picture quality of more expensive TVs.
Exactly.
Yeah. And like Dragon Wolf is saying, if you're gonna buy Samsung, buy last year's Q90R because it has high-end. It was the high-end model this year. Samsung 4K TVs are mid-range and slightly nerfed because they are pushing 8K. So basically, yeah, I think like they're going into the wrong direction. I mean, we still have to like fully benefit
Well, they're
from
trying to make them
4K.
cheaper. Like Matt said, they're taking the processors out of them, the more expensive ones, and they're putting the less glorious processors in them to make them a little cheaper.
Yeah, I just don't think 8K is where we should go now. I mean, not even all films and series are in 4K yet on Netflix and stuff like that. There's still so much that has to be in 4K before it becomes like real mainstream. I mean, it is almost mainstream, but it's not there yet. Like 4K Blu-rays are still expensive, I would say. How much are they? 25?
Well, probably I don't even know for regular like a UHD Blu-ray player.
Yeah, no, a normal 4K Blu-ray, like
I think
CD.
they're $100.
They're around $100, I think.
Yeah, seen it for $80 at Best Buy.
No, a
Samsung.
CD, movie, the same movie.
Oh, the movie itself?
Yeah,
The movie.
Yeah, they range like $20 to $30 at launch.
I think that's still much for a movie.
Dude, the difference in quality between a
Audio
Blu-ray and a
quality
4K
is
is
ridiculous. That's where I always see them shine through the most. Is the
I think
audio.
I never bought a Blu-ray like a 4K yet. My friend has. My maybe I should ask to play one time to see what the difference.
They did the same thing with Blu-ray and UHD. Like there was no reason they can't put Atmos on a Blu-ray disc. But what they ended up doing, there is a couple movies out there that do have it on there, and then they changed it to 4K and basically locked that feature into the 4K Blu-ray player system because, hey, if you want the best sound, you're going to have to upgrade. So it's electronics business is really goofy, man. They do a lot of shady stuff to force people, kind of like direct them in the direction they want them to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, have you guys heard Xbox Series X is gonna support Dolby Vision?
Yeah, what exactly is Dolby Vision, anyways?
Okay,
I mean,
so
I see
Dolby
better
Vision.
picture quality. Is it kind of like a? Is it kind of like when you see like THX quality? It's just their settings for that movie best played on that TV. Like that,
So
where pretty much
It's
Dolby
let,
Vision
you know,
is.
you're familiar with HDR10, right? Which is the
Yeah.
basic HDR. Um, Essentially HDR10, it does like a global lighting scheme. So what the light sections are, and it kind of what Dolby Vision and HDR10 Plus do is it more goes by scene, and it does it almost on a pixel by pixel basis. So you can get like more definition in the HDR, like darker scenes and more bright scenes.
Yeah, it's
I
not
watch a
only
lot of like
that.
movie people that review stuff, and a lot of them are like, "There's a difference." They're like, "I wouldn't go crazy to try to get the Dolby Vision difference," but
So
again,
it's
it
kind
comes
of
down
like
to the
THX
TV you're running.
back in the day, THX versions of videos.
Essentially, what Dolby tries to do, and same with THX, is that they want to ensure that there's like a bare minimum standard met, and if you meet that, then you can get their license, and you have to pay for it and all that stuff. So,
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what
which
that's what I figured.
Microsoft passes it on to us because I remember having to buy the headphone thing. They didn't want any parts of that. It's like, hey, you want the Dolby Atmos headphone, you got to pay 15 or 20 bucks, whatever it was back when that app launched.
I got
You
this
still have to
one,
do, right?
and I got this headset back in the day, the 800LX from a rig from a Plantronics, right? And it came with a code. So I didn't have to buy the Dolby Atmos separately. I didn't know even that was a thing back then. Like I just bought this headset and it said, "Hey, it comes with a code for Dolby Atmos." And I listened to Dolby Atmos, it's really different. But what Dolby Vision does, like what I heard when I bought the TV, right, back in the day, was you know the series Lucifer, something like
Mhm.
that. So basically,
Yeah.
what they do in that scene, normally you have the scene and the series in general, and they show a general picture, right? Like how the movie is filmed. But what they actually do with Dolby Vision is they go in afterwards, and with Dolby Vision, they can actually make everything go the way they want it to be seen. So if they want the red to be darker, they can't do that on the normal one, so they do it in the Dolby Vision one. It's going to be a little bit special, like you're saying, Matt, but it's like a little bit more in depth as well. Like you're not gonna notice it that much, but it's still something extra, which I think is still important to me. Like when I see Dolby Vision, it still looks, I don't know, it still looks a little bit more crisp to me. When I see it on Netflix, I see a couple of movies or series with Dolby Vision, like Lucifer, which is really good. Oh, I love it.
Well, the thing with the Dolby Vision is it's Dolby Vision gaming, so this isn't even it's not even available. It's not going to be available at launch. So
Yeah,
I
probably.
don't really, I really don't even know how this is going to affect the gaming side because I know what Dolby Vision does for movies and TV shows, but I really don't know what it's going to do for gaming and if it'll be a drastic difference or if it'll be, it's probably going to be the difference between a crappy TV and a good TV. It's going to be for people that have the best TVs. I think will get the most advantage of it. If you're running a TCL or they're good TVs, they look great, and I have no problem with people buying them because hey, they're cheap and they get you most of the way there. But and they do Dolby Vision.
Mm.
I just don't know. It should make it better for each individual TV, but we'll see. There's so much we don't know because like we're in the middle of a transition, but for HDMI specs, and they almost always don't go the way they're supposed to. I've been burned a couple of times when they're like, "Oh, the new features of HDMI and it's future proof and all that," and then you buy in and then they can't get it to work.
Yeah, I hope they can get HDMI 2.1 to work because that's why I bought the console, the TV for actually, because it was ready for next generation. But also OLED. I mean, OLED is for me better than QLED overall. It's more natural light based. That's like my opinion about that. So if it's not your opinion, that's cool. I do
Oh no,
respect that.
OLED TVs. It's just they're not the best for everybody. I'm a prime candidate. Like I could not have an OLED for my main TV. I
Why?
have static. I have static images on my TV 16 hours a day. Like, I go from the news in the morning for 2 hours where there's a static bar to like Sports Channel, it's Sports Center where there's a static bar. I watch mostly sports games that have static. And then when you watch movies, almost everything has black bars top and bottom. Like it's just, and my TV's on 16, 18 hours a day, where most people don't have their TV on like that.
Yeah, what I mostly do like every couple of days is do the pixel refresher as well. But no, I don't put my TV on for like 20 hours a day. Like that's the thing that people think about, like, oh, there's burn-in. No, there's only burn-in if you keep your TV on for long periods of time. I don't talking about days, I'm talking about weeks. And you do it so much and you don't use a pixel refresher after often and stuff. Like if you watch like 2 hours of TV, you turn it off, like you're not gonna get burned in ever. Like
No, and I'm actually looking at one for my bedroom because a 55 in my bedroom would be awesome, and that's way cheaper than a 77-inch for the main TV room.
oh dude,
I could buy 3 of them for that price. So it's like, oh, I can do that. But most of my TV watching is also during the day when there's a lot of light in my room. So like, I'm more concerned with the TV fighting reflections and having a good anti-reflective cover. And LGs doesn't really, like the OLEDs really don't. They're almost like mirrors, but I don't know. I'm so torn. I'm really not in a hurry to buy a TV because my current TV is pretty damn good. So
what the
I can
hell?
go another year.
What the hell is micro LED?
The new LED.
Micro, yeah, it's basically you can go. Emphasis, you know what it is? You can go for it, man.
No, I don't know exactly what it is. I just know there's a new technology. They're making the pixels a little more smaller, right? And that's why it's like
true
but
micro.
It's a cheaper alternative to high fidelity, right? I mean, they're doing really good.
Basically, what they're trying to do is what OLED does. So a pixel by pixel light source that you can control on and off. So they have to make the LEDs really tiny, and that's basically where they're having problems right now. So like the micro LEDs you see that exist are huge, 150, 160 inches. A lot of them are panels, like they're separate panels that you have to assemble to get your whole TV together. But the nice thing is it wouldn't burn in, so you'd have all the benefits of OLED with perfect contrast, but it would be no risk of burn in because it doesn't happen with that technology. So
yeah, LED doesn't.
We're years away though. We're probably 5 years away from when rich people can buy it.
They showed it on the CES, and they were showing that they'll be cheaper than the OLEDs, and be better if not the same quality as them.
Yeah, there's actually a channel that I always watch for.
But I enjoyed watching them over the CES.
CES.
Well, like there's another thing coming to quantum. We have quantum.tvs, but it's not the best implementation of using the quantum dot filter. So if they can move it from behind to the front, in front of like the where the pixels change, in front of the light source instead of behind it, it can make a huge difference in color accuracy, what kind of colors you can get. They should be able to hit more of the specs, and that's coming. I think Vizio's OLED might actually be a quantum dot this year. I'm getting it all confused, but real quantum dots are coming within the next year. Mm-hmm. And that'll make a big difference in the picture quality. So like maybe LG will add that to the C11.
I don't
Maybe
care,
they'll be able to get a
man.
quantum dot.
I'm so good with my TV, I'm gonna be happy for like 10 years before I have to upgrade. Or maybe before.
I change TVs every like 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, but you watch 20 hours a day.
Well, I mean, I'm in a different spot. I'm disabled. I don't work. There's days I can't move. So like the only thing I can do is sit in a recliner. Oh, dude, yeah, my back's destroyed. I'm in constant pain, and it just varies. It's like a roller coaster ride. There's days where it's good, days where it's horribly bad. Got to make the best of it. So, hey, that's why I spend a bunch of money on electronic stuff, because if I'm going to be stuck on my couch all day, at least that makes it a little bit tolerable. Where I'm in a different world. Like you guys all have to go to work for 8 hours a day. They cook dinner, and a lot of guys have families and sports, and like they don't have a lot of gaming time. I might game more in a day than most people do in a week. So it's different. Like I can justify the expenses on this stuff because I use the hell out of it. Like I can't justify an expensive car. I don't drive. I barely ever drive. I have a car.
Yeah,
but...
so you actually cheaper. Like a car costs actually a lot of money. Like I don't have a car as well. My girlfriend has a car, but I'm not ever gonna own a car. Like it's just too expensive. I ride my bike every day to work back and forth. For that reason, because it's just too much more efficient and much more cheaper for me. on a yearly
That's why I love you
basis.
Europeans, man. You guys ride bikes to work.
Yeah, they
That's
all live close
awesome.
to each other too, right? They don't really live too far from. They're all pretty close together. We're spread out in the states. Everything's far away from each other, you know.
Yeah, I was lucky. I got to spend a lot of time in England because I have a ton of family there. I spent like almost 6 months there, a handful of trips. And yeah, you're right. Like if you live in a small town, it could be a town of 2,000 people. Everything you need is in that town for the most part, unless you need like
Yeah.
they had to travel to Best Buy or something similar over
Fuck,
there.
my fat
But
ass hasn't been on a bike since the 8th grade. Jesus Christ.
yeah,
I
like here, if you don't have a car in the States, especially in 95% of the country, you can't survive. Like
You can't
it
even
would
go to
be.
the drugstore.
No, here in Belgium, like in my city, Sydney class, we don't have that problem. Like I can go with my bike to everywhere. Like I'm there in like 15 minutes stops. It's like so insane over here. So easy to go everywhere. The bus that drives to the main city, multiple main cities. We have the train station behind us where we go in half an hour to across the country. Our country is
Europe's
like,
so much. Europe's just different than us, man. You guys like are
Yeah.
lucky. Your rail system is amazing.
yes, and our road system in Belgium is the highest amount of roads in whole of Europe.
It doesn't shock me because
The
of your
highest
location.
density, the highest density of roads, which is insane. We have so much roads overall in Belgium. It's one of those things like people don't think about stuff, but Belgium is actually a pretty cool country.
Yeah, you gotta think. People, a lot of people in the United States, man, they travel 45 minutes to an hour to work every day. I mean,
Yeah, that's
I used to
insane.
travel an hour to work every day.
or yeah, like my old lady used to travel an hour and a half. Now she's down to 45-minute commute.
There was even a time where I went like 1 hour and 25 minutes every day to work with my bike.
We're
Wow.
talking on a vehicle though. That's like a 15-minute car ride.
No, for me, yeah, that was
Hey, dude, if
insane.
you're hauling ass, you're doing like 15 miles an hour. So you've rode for an hour. You've been pretty far to drive to work.
Yeah, 26 kilometers. I don't know how that is in miles. Probably around 20 something.
It's like 11 or 12, I think. It's what 2.3? I
I
forget.
don't
I'm
know
losing it.
miles.
Yeah,
Um,
2.3. I think you're right.
Let me go real quick. Hold on. Miles converter. So 26.3 convert 16.3 miles.
Yeah, like 15 miles. Yeah, you were
That's what I
hauling
did.
ass to get there in an hour, man. I used to ride bikes for enjoyment before I got hurt, and I used to try to keep a 15-mile-an-hour pace
Oh yeah, me
to
too.
give you a good workout and
But
like get there quick.
I had an electric bike, so an electric bike is one of the best investments you can have. You can still go far. You can go like 30 you can go pretty far. But yeah, it's cool. It's all very cool. Yeah. I didn't know we were gonna talk about bikes and stuff today. Oh, this is awesome. That's why I love this show, man. Everything can happen. We can talk about any type of conversation. I just love it. So fun.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. It's like where I live in Philadelphia, so like I live in a major city, and if I could ride a bike, I could ride all over the place. I could be in Center City in I don't even know, probably 15 minutes if I was on a bicycle.
Oh, yeah,
I live
cool.
like 2 miles, like 2.5 miles from Center City. But like where I live is like quiet. I live in South Philadelphia. It's nice and quiet over here.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice because the major city and all the things that come with it are right there. So and you don't need a car here. Like with the Uber and Lyft and all that, I can walk to Target or walk to the supermarket because they're that close, and then go shopping, and then come out, call an Uber, throw all my crap in their car, and then come home. And it'd be cheaper than keeping a car because insurance rates here are outrageous. I think my insurance is almost $200 a month, and my car's paid off.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, I think we're at like 350 a month now for car insurance, but we have 3 cars on the policy.
And you probably have a young driver.
Yeah, my daughter. Yeah,
I
she jumped
forget, man.
$100 a month just for her to be on our policy. In fact, I think we used to be 168. It's almost doubled now because she's on it.
My insurance when I first started driving to Jesus, like 25 years ago, I think it was like 1,400 when I lived in New Jersey when I first got it. Then when I went to Pennsylvania, it went to $2,400 a year. $200 a month back in 1995 for car insurance. It was ridiculous. It was so expensive. Most people were paying under $100. I'm like, this isn't fair. Because I had to work. I had to pay my own insurance and all that stuff. If I wanted to drive, I had to pay my car insurance. That was a big ass
Yeah.
bill back then, $200 a month.
Yeah.
It's still a big ass bill.
I think for young drivers, well, it's even more expensive because the insurance is just so much more expensive. Overall, when you have like starting to drive and stuff, like it gets cheaper over time, but in the beginning, insurance is so expensive here.
I think at 21 I got a really nice rate drop, and then at 23 it hit again, and then 25 it hit again. It's like it's age restricted here. It's like one age, and then they look at your driver's record. It's like, oh yeah, you're not a horrible driver. You can get a discount.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is here.
Oh no, for me it's different. It's like every year, and if you don't get accidents, they like lower the rate. And if you get an accident, they actually make the rate higher if it's your own fault.
Oh yeah,
That's how it is here. I think maybe Allstate doesn't. There's a couple companies that don't raise at the first accident, but accident forgiveness. But
we have accident forgiveness too. It's like every 5 years without an accident, you get a freebie. That's what we call it, a freebie.
Yeah,
Car was a freebie.
I don't think we have that here. I'm not sure. Like I haven't had a car insurance in like 4 years. It was the last time I drove a car, and that was a car that's like a little Fiat 500.
oh, nice.
Yeah,
I know. I
that was my
like the small
beauty,
cars.
man. That was my beauty back in the day. I was so happy with that. I bought it myself. From like my
Now I did like
ex.
the 500 Afterbursts. Those were nice as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
They're small little cars. They're hard to find now.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I just saw a 500L the other day. They're cool little cars. They're like an SUV almost, but
Yeah, they have Alberth ones that are branded that way. They have it updated, have a little small turbo in it with a nice exhaust note to them. Whip around the last cars like a super fast go kart.
Yeah. Okay.
what are we watching on this video?
I'm just
Okay.
watching someone building a diorama. I just want to show something
This is the
different.
hobby actually I feel like I should get into when I'm playing Mortal Kombat against fucking Crispy. Like I
This
don't
is
even know
what we're
why I'm
doing.
playing this game. I should just start building model airplanes instead. I have a better chance of winning.
He kicks your ass that bad.
Yeah, that's fucking bad. I'm like, yeah, me. I think it's forget his name. I think it's D4 for life. I think it is his name. We were playing the other night, and fucking just kicking my ass. I'm like, I'm gonna go fucking build model airplanes or something, man. I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Hey, but man, that's Crispy, man. He's so fun to play with, but he's so good at gears. Oh my god.
I haven't played Gears Online yet because I haven't had anybody to play with, and it's like I said, I'm not a big third-person shooter person. Like,
Oh, 2 weeks ago, fucking new busted the controller, fucking rage.
No,
smashed me.
really?
Yeah, just that bad. Fuck, it's just gears. Gears are fucking. I don't know if it's the shooting mechanics, but you'll be right in front of somebody with that shotgun. You fucking woof, and all of a sudden you're in pieces because somebody hits you 5 feet away from you. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I do think that's a little
I
bit.
don't know what it is. It was desync. I have no idea what's going on with that motherfucking game, but it drives me nuts too. It feels good when you're on the roll and you're fucking doing it to everybody, but once it starts happening to you, you're like, motherfucker.
The thing is also like I'm in Europe, and when I play against America, I got like 140 ping. So trying to play Gears with 140 ping is like almost impossible. Just saying.
You might actually do well then. Desync, you might actually win.
I got like
That's how-
3
it might actually work
kills,
to your
7
advantage.
kills. Got like 7 kills for a full game, which is great for a beginner, but still, like, yeah. Oh well, let's skip this a little bit, like with all those wires. There we go. If you want to see something else, guys, you can always like suggest videos to me, and I'll play them during the show. I'm always up for something to laugh about or something special There's enough stuff on the internet to have content for like years, even
Everything's
decades.
on the internet. Any kind of question you could possibly ask, like, hey, how do I change the belt on my dryer? And somebody filmed it replacing the dryer belt on my dryer. It's like, thank you, dude. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that, because now I know exactly what to do.
No fucking doubt. No doubt. You know much car stuff saved me that way? Like, fucking Christ, about time.
Do you
I
know
had
what's
the car I have now. My the third brake light wasn't working, and it's an LED. And I'm like, LEDs don't burn out. Like maybe one or two of them would have, but not the whole thing at once. And I was like, what? How the hell am I going to fix this? And I took it to a mechanic. He's like, I have no idea how to track this down. So I went online. It was just like third brake light on a 2006 PT Cruiser not working, and it came right up. It's just like, oh, when the trunk opens and closes, it pinches the wire, and eventually it cuts the wire. So like all you have to do is just rewire it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did. My light came back on. I was just like, oh, thank God. That probably would have cost me like $1,000 a mechanic trying to figure that out, because he probably wouldn't have did what I did and looked it up on the internet.
Yeah, there's so much stuff you can do now through YouTube, through internet that you couldn't do on yourself before. Just because you look it up, people explain it really well these days. Like there's even a plumber on the internet, like making videos how to make do their own plumbing.
Oh, it's great, man. It really is great that people take the time to put up some odd stuff sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And if you need it, it's the greatest video ever invented.
Yes, indeed. Like just being able to like go to like my friend's PlayStation or no Xbox died, right? Because he threw it on the floor because he was angry and drunk. And that was his Xbox. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'll see what I can do, right? I was actually next to him when he threw it on the ground, and he was actually starstruck that it didn't work anymore. So I opened it with YouTube, with some videos in the background playing and seeing what I need to do, and I did exactly what they did. Unplugged everything, plugged it all back in, and it did work again. I'm like, okay, cool, I did this. It makes you
Saved him a
feel
couple
so
hundred
good.
bucks.
Yeah, dude, it makes me feel so good when that happens. Like, even like troubleshooting for PC, there's so much stuff, but like if you eliminate some things and you search on forums and stuff, you can still like do stuff like that. It's so cool.
Like I'm a big headphone geek, and
Yeah.
I've modified a handful of my headphones, like just to like I bought a pair of headphones that had cables that were attached, and they're really nice headphones. They're Fostex, basically TH 600s, which are like $500-$600 headphones, but they had a cable that didn't detach, and I was like, I really want detachable cables.
Okay,
Looked it up online, and somebody walked me through the entire process of taking it apart, sitting there and doing it, and buying all the stuff I needed, and I swapped it out, and now I have a headphone that I can replace the cables on, and it's awesome. Somebody took the time to put all that information on there, and it's like, dude, you just made my life a million times easier, because the cable was like 10 or 12 foot long, and it was a really, really thick cable, like almost like a guitar cable, like real thick, and it was like, this is just not going to work, man. Like, this is a huge, huge cable.
Mm-hmm.
Asked the question, is there a way to do this better? And hey, somebody on the internet did it.
Yeah.
I have modifications on, like, I have people that have printed PVC, like with a 3D printer, printed out like waveguides and stuff to add to my headphones to change the sound of them. And it's just like, hey, what the hell? Why not? Like, I can try it. If I screw it up, I'm out a couple $100, no big deal. It's just fun. Like, if you have hobbies and like you just start, like, I'm a big audio guy. Like, I always look up stuff, and it's just amazing out there if you really look.
Okay, so Dragon Wolf, you wanted me to put on Paul Shipper. I have a video of his because he doesn't really have those things that like fast drawings and stuff. So it's a bit of a shame. I love to see those. But this is also cool. Some illustrations what they did. So really cool work, I have to say. Really cool work.
To me, that's got to be one of the hardest things on earth to do, is to paint a human face, or to draw a human face and make it look realistic, because there's something with like your brain when you know what a face looks like, and if it looks realistic or not. And Like, dude, these pictures are amazing, dude. Holy cow! Like, I could never do that.
Yeah, nor can I. I don't even want to fathom it.
He's
I could
really
draw
good.
trees. I could draw houses. I could draw that. I couldn't draw a person to save my life.
I could do hearts and balloons. That's about it.
Stick figures.
It's insane. I mean, it's just insane. Like, this is some cool stuff, I have to say. Like, drawing wise, this is insane. Really good one. Thanks, Dragon. If you got some more stuff like that, but maybe a little bit more like interactive, that like time lapses and stuff. I love those, so those are always fun to watch. Time lapses of stuff. I just put them on in the background, lay my couch and just drink something and eat something on the side and just watch those like all the time, especially the clay based ones like the Black Panther one that came out a few weeks ago when Chad Boseman Wick Boseman.
Chadwick Boseman.
Yes, okay, thank you. When he died, which is always sad. But yeah, he made a really nice statue of him in clay. So I will show
I
that
just
off.
started
Probably.
following an artist on Twitter that he paints everything upside down. So when he's painting it, you don't even know what he's drawing unless you can flip it in your brain. But the first time I watched him, he's sitting there, he's painting. I was like, what the hell is he making? And then at the end, he just turned it around, and I was like, oh, holy shit! Like, damn, dude! Like, you just painted that in 5 minutes, and it's better than anything I could do in a year of trying to do that. It's a really talented artist out there, man. And that's one of the cool things with Twitter is that, like, you stumble across this stuff because somebody retweets something here or there, and like you end up finding some. I like art, and it's cool to see people creating art in different ways that I could never do.
Yeah,
Painting upside down.
I'll actually show you this one. This is really cool, but this is not really like what I like to see. I did give a like though, so I support him. But this is basically what I like to watch, especially clay-based videos, because I still wanna dabble into that a little bit more. I bought some clay like Sculpey and stuff like that and try to do this, but I cannot do for shit. I'm feeling. Do you know what I made? My first real thing that I made was like a star with glasses, and a cigarette in his mouth, and with a mankini, like Borat. That's the first thing that I made. We're still here, Matt?
Yep.
Okay.
Still here. No, I'm looking at this the clay thing. This is just crazy to me, man.
I love to see these things. They're so cool. Like, yeah, I'll do want to give a shout out to Paul Shipper if you want to watch stuff like his. You can go to his YouTube channel. I'll put in the description with all the other videos I did. Like, they're all on top of my my screen here, like all next to each other. So at the end, I'll just put them all in the description and stuff. Yeah, it's so fun. Like, this is the stuff I like to watch, guys. You know a little bit more with me about me every time I stream, so that's always interesting.
So cool how they do this.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't understand why it's clay based and then he does this stuff. Like, I still don't get that. Don't know what's so important about doing like a rubber cast mold and then put that stuff in and then lay dry and then take it out. Like it's some sort of rubber based stuff. Maybe to paint it, like you can paint it on the clay. Maybe he reuses the clay all the time. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, he made a mold is basically what he did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess the rubber stuff or whatever he made, that whatever that tan stuff was.
Is he making statue?
It's too flimsy.
Bronze statue? Interesting. Huh. But yeah.
He might be. I worked for a guy that used to make bronze statues.
Wait.
They were outrageously expensive. 10, 20 grand.
wait, Dragon Wolf is saying that he made some Star Wars posters. You might have seen at cinemas.
I think one of those came up in that when they were flipping through.
Yeah,
There was
yeah,
a couple of Star Wars ones in there, and they did look familiar.
yeah, it did. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. It's back. I don't know how to stop yawning sometimes. It's annoying.
It is 12:20 where you are, or in the morning. So
Yeah, it's getting pretty late for you, no doubt.
Okay, yeah. If you want to stop the stream, just tell me so, guys. Fuck.
oh, I don't care.
Hey, yeah, it's got some Captain America. I'll show that next because that's also really cool. Like, yeah, some amazing stuff, guys. This is what I like to see a lot. So, yeah. Is there something else you wanna still discuss, guys, before we guys?
No, I'm good.
You're
Unless
good.
you got something else, you're more than welcome, man.
And you, Matt? Is there something you still want to discuss?
Oh, did we lose Matt?
Matt?
Sorry, man. I had to go check my door real quick. Somebody knocked on my door. Somebody was delivering food that wasn't mine.
Okay,
Did
no
you take
problem.
it? Did you say thank
No,
you?
it's my neighbor upstairs. I like him, so are you gonna steal his food?
No, I want to ask, is there something you still want to discuss, or?
Nothing I can think of.
Okay.
I'm sure there's plenty of stuff out there to talk about, but
Yeah, there's always stuff to talk about. That's the fun part. Like if the chat has one more question, maybe we'll answer it. But otherwise, yeah. Oh, I hear it in my voice actually that I'm getting tired. So if you have a question, just speak now or forever hold your silence. Is that how they say it?
hold your peace.
Hold your peace. Hey, he's a Flamish boy. He's a Flamish, so he says stuff that a little bit different. Like I make up my own words if I want to. That's a funny
I'll
part.
tell you what. Like every time I've run across a Belgian when I've traveled, yeah, they've always been the nicest people, and they always speak like 7 languages or 6 languages. It's just crazy to me.
You
How many
should
languages
come
you
to
speak?
me then. No, I can only speak English and Flemish. Dutch, basically.
And I was in Paris. I ran into some Belgians, and they spoke French, like Portuguese, Italian, German,
That's
obviously Belgian, English. It's like, how do you speak all these languages? I mean, some of them are similar enough to where you can kind of get by, but it would confuse the hell out of me.
I do want to say that's a little bit like how do you say that? Special because that's not really like most people only speak like 2 languages here. That's French and Dutch. Because Flemish is basically like Belgium is a country divided by 2 different languages. Like we're in the middle between France and Netherlands, so we speak Dutch and French. So, but we do have our own accent for it. So, yeah, that's
Yeah,
basically.
because like, well, even with German, I think there's 3 or 4 variations of it depending on what part of the country you're in.
Yeah,
I guess there's like an official German that everybody's supposed to speak, and then there's like regional dialects. I mean, Germany's a big country. Hell, Pennsylvania's a big state. If I drive to the other side of the state, people don't sound like me at all.
No, that's true. I'm in Erie. When I drive 6 hours to go see somebody in Philly, it's like everybody's completely different, man.
We say some very strange words compared to everybody else. Water instead of water. We pronounce it like, oh, I need some wood for the fire. Water. And it always throws people off. They're just like, what the hell did you just say? It's like water. And they're like, oh, I'm sorry, water.
Wooder. Maybe I should use that simple terminology. Would be easier for me.
Like we use hoagies for sandwiches. Like a lot of people call them subs and things like that. We call them hoagies, and people are like, "What the hell is a hoagie?" It's like, well, technically, it's from Hog Island back in like the 1900s, where they used to make sandwiches for the people over there. It's an island that was right off the Navy Yard.
You'll see hoagies outside Subway or I shouldn't say Subway, but outside sub shops, you'll see hoagie subs.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually it's interchangeable up here.
Like South Jersey, they call them heroes, and I'm like, a hero, really? Like I
Yeah,
thought that was a term used way far away from here, like not anywhere close to here.
Okay, Dragon Wolf has another question. So basically, he's asking what they know, why are they not making Black Panther game in honor of Chadwick Boseman? If they would do that, it will still take like 4 or 5 years before it comes out. So
I thought I already heard one was in the making, but that might just be a rumor.
he is gonna be in Avengers, and normally he was going to be announced at the latest. Um, how is that thing called again? War Table, but because he died, they didn't want to go through with it. So yeah, I think that's a smart idea. Like, don't.
It's probably more likely he's added to Avengers than they make it, because it would take them what at best 3 years to get a game out.
Three,
Yeah,
So
five,
by then, like it's the honor of for him. Like it would still be there, but it just wouldn't have the impact as like if they released it 3 months from now. Like everybody, it would probably sell like crazy if they had a game ready. But they
yeah.
should be able to get his character into Avengers and maybe do something with that. Maybe build a story or an add-on for it. That would probably be more likely.
He's gonna be in the game. Like I said, he was going to be announced, but they hold it back because he died. Basically, a couple of days before. And what was normally like, there's gonna be Wakanda in the game as well. When he eventually will be there, so that's gonna be cool. I think that's really cool. But yeah, it was not the right time to release it or show it off. Because it would seem like they're going after the profit because he died, and they don't want to do that. So that's why they hold it off, probably.
I would just get his estate involved and see what they want to do.
Yeah, right.
Because they might be like, yeah, that would be a great idea. Get it out there and keep him in the limelight, or they might be like, no, we absolutely don't want that because
I
it's.
do want to ask this because I'm not sure, and I'm thinking about this. Do you think the Black Panther we have in the game then, would it look after him?
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know if they would do that.
I won't.
Oh, I want to see this one. Sorry guys, now I'm going to put something I want.
Because I think they didn't use the actual actors' faces because then they would have had to pay probably millions of dollars in fees to use their likeness.
Exactly.
Okay, wait, hold on. This is so weird. Look, he made a statue, and then he cuts it off and pastes it a little bit higher.
Yeah, it's not creepy at all.
That's what happens when he messes up. He's like, forget it, I'm going somewhere else.
Oh my god. Okay, basically, and he has another game. Another question, like, what game do you think should have a sequel or remake? Huh. I'm thinking about it. Not entirely sure. Riddick would be a good candidate. Dragon. I think that's a really good
We've
pick.
been talking about another Spy Hunter for ages now.
Oh,
I don't
Spy
know if I
Hunter.
hasn't been done yet.
Wow, Spy Hunter. I grew up on that.
Yeah,
It's a really old game, man.
the first one that I played on the original Xbox. I thought it was the best fucking game ever.
That was a great game back in the day. Was it great?
I'm trying to think what system I first played that on. Was it the Commodore 64, maybe? Maybe the ColecoVision?
It was Commodore 64, but then I think it went to the newest version was on the Xbox, on the OG Xbox, and that's when it was nice. It was some awesome gameplay.
The haha in the background, so funny.
It might have been Atari. I'm about to Google it now.
Time Splitters? I don't know.
I'll tell you what, I want more of that. What's the space game coming from Bethesda? The Elder Scrolls. Star something.
Yeah, not Star Citizen. Jesus Christ, what is it?
Is it Starfield?
Starfield, yes.
Starfield, yes, sir.
You're correct, sir.
They
Dude,
have
where did that game go? Like it vanished.
I
I will
read an
tell.
article not too long ago, probably back in the beginning of the year, and they said they were still working on it. And I haven't heard anything from it since. But I haven't seen anything in terms of release date, trailers, pictures. I've seen nothing in that game.
Like I don't think we're getting it anytime in the next couple of years. Like I'm hoping 2022. And then where's that going to put Elder Scrolls 6? Because that's going to take 5 years to make, 6 years to make.
They said that they're already storyboarding the next one, but I don't know how much longer it takes from them when they're storyboarding and getting all their ideas down versus being released. I read another article not too long with one of the head developers from Bethesda that said that they were working storyboarding and then they released more information soon, and that was probably 6-7 months ago.
Oh damn, this looks creepy.
Yeah, because of all the games that are coming next gen, like Starfield is definitely my top 5 games that I can't wait to get a hold of. I love Stargate, like space games. Love space games.
Other than that original trailer they did during E3, they haven't said anything about it since.
Yeah, it was 2018, right? When they announced it.
Yeah, 2 years ago now. Yeah, 3 years ago, 2 years ago now. So yeah, it would have been 2018. We didn't have one this year. It wasn't last year, so yeah, it had to have been 2018.
Yeah, like that's one I'm really excited for. Battlefield 6, I cannot wait for because I really think Battlefield 5 was kind of screwed up because of the hardware limitations. I think they went too big for what's actually capable on the hardware.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it has so many stupid glitches and all these weird things that happen during the game. It's just too much for these systems. And Battlefield 6 is next gen only, so we're not going to have to worry about it being Xbox One or PS4. Scrolling with how it comes out, so like that's coming out next fall, like a year from now.
I'm a big Battlefield guy myself. I'm Battlefield over Call of Duty all day long.
Also the new one, Infinite?
What's that? I'm sorry?
The new Call of Duty, are you not excited?
No. I'm not. I don't get excited about Call of Duty like I get excited about Battlefields. Call of Duties to me are always like Maddens. They're just reskins of reskins. And the next one will be the same way. Same mechanic, same level, same board design, same idea, nothing original, just they're continuing doing the same thing they've been doing, which is fine because they make money doing it. So why change the formula up? But I enjoy Battlefield. I enjoy the destruction and environment. I don't care necessarily for grinding out, getting a Halo or a Holo lens for a gun or a certain scope. I like the way Battlefield works. It just feels better. Like me and 2 other guys, we played the BR for Battlefield, and one of the guys I work with got to like 18 with the most kills in the entire world, including Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. He had like 900 something wins, and he was like 8th or 9th place. Now it's shit. They completely destroyed the BR in that.
Okay.
But I missed. I've been playing Battlefield since early days. My favorite one was Vietnam after Battlefield 1492 or 1442, 1942. Jesus. But I can't wait for them to come out with another Vietnam era one. That soundtrack is phenomenal.
I don't know, man. Maybe. We don't know. We don't know the next Battlefield, what it's gonna be like. So we're still waiting on more news, I guess, for now. But it's gonna
The
be
big
there.
thing for me is, I know this keeps getting lost in like what's coming with next gen games, is ray traced audio. I really don't think people understand how big of an impact that'll make in like a Battlefield type game, because if like as it is now, like you could be on the other side of a house and then there's a whole house in between where somebody else is walking behind and you can hear their footsteps. It's like, dude, that would never happen in the real world. So it'll change like what you're able to like pick up from the environment through audio, and you should get a better idea of where somebody is just from the sound. Like, I'm so excited for ray traced audio. I really think it's going to be like a huge deal.
Yeah, you're basically a real audio nut. So you're basically going for the audio, and I do understand that. Like I want good audio as well. Like I really love Dolby Atmos. Like going from one side to the other, in just a menu, go from left to the right, and hearing the clicky sound go from left to right. It's like so amazing every time I do it. it's still fun to do that. Sorry.
Well, 'cause, like, well, here's the thing: like with ray traced audio, it's not going to matter what kind of a headset you have. If you have a $50 headset, it's still going to sound way better than the audio from the current gen. And if you spend more money, then you get more out of it. But it's. I don't think people understand it's like how it's like if a tank's outside or if a plane's flying by, like you're going to be able to know exactly where it is just off of audio cues.
Is that gonna be for both consoles?
Yeah, they both have said they're going to do ray traced audio. I hope it's common. I hope most games do it. Because like there's certain materials that like if it was a glass window, like that would cut down on so much of the audio passing through. A wall would be different, concrete would be different, it would reflect off of it differently. Like I had found some videos that actually did a pretty good job of showing it, like what happens if you go around a corner, how it affects the same audio. And a lot of I can't find them anymore. People, it's going to be awesome. Like it's just there's so many things coming with next gen that are just being lost with people going like, oh, there's no games at launch. But it's like, dude, they're coming. I'm buying the hardware for the next 5, 6, 7 years.
Yeah,
I'm not worried about the launch games.
No, me neither. There are a
Build
couple
it.
of launch games, like on both consoles we have like launch window games. I think that's a funny word to say back now, right at this moment. Don't you
I
think?
think we're fortunate that we have a few games that are coming out here shortly that are going to be great no matter what, if we have a new system or not. Like it's like Cyberpunk, for instance, it's going to be such a good game. Everybody's just waiting to play it. I know they don't have that day one patch for it, but I'm going to be playing nonetheless. Like I can care less of what system I'm playing it on. I just know that I'm going to be playing it better on the Series X. That's all.
Yeah, for sure. Like everything's gonna be better on the X, for sure. There was also last generation. There will also be this generation. So the X will be still the dominant console to for the best experience. That's what I'm trying to say. Like I do want to see what they're going to do with the haptic feedback on the controller because of a PlayStation 5 because that's going to be interesting. That could be a game changer just like for how games feel. But overall, I'm still going to play on the Series X for sure.
Because I think like the PS5 controller is actually going to have like resistive triggers, like they can change how the trigger feels, and that's different than what Xbox is doing. So I think on some games it could be a pretty cool difference. In other ones, it'll just be more of a gimmick.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's gonna be.
haptic thumbsticks would be phenomenal to have too. Something harder to push as you're going through mud type deal. You feel that resistance, but that's probably a timeout. I don't know if they're gonna do that or not.
But it's only on the triggers. It's not on the analog sticks.
Yeah, it should be on analog sticks too. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea, but I don't think that's feasible.
Say you're playing RPG and you're going through the swamp or through the mud. You feel the little bit of tension in the thumbsticks rather than the triggers. You know.
Yeah, Infinite. I don't think that's gonna be possible at all on the analog
The only thing I
sticks.
could think of doing for haptic on the triggers would be when your car starts breaking down, you run out of brakes or something in a simulation. You know, you can
Shooter
see-
games.
you're not pulling
No.
not pulling that brake as hard, or the brake you have to pull it harder down. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, what else would it be used for?
Shooter games. Everything that has a weapon could be used for that. Like if
Harder to pull
you're.
the trigger? I don't know if people would like that, especially people who are competitively playing. They want to pull that trigger the fastest, like with the Series 2 controller. You know, you got that 3 levels of space. The faster you can pull that trigger, the better.
I think you can disable it though.
No, I'm sure. But I just don't know why it would feel so good. Like I don't understand it. It doesn't appeal to me, I should say.
Yeah, you haven't tried it yet. You have to try it to see if it's working for you. And I do think it depends on the game. Like, don't try to do this in Call of Duty. Oh my lord, people will flame so much. Oh,
I hope it's not a gimmick. I hope it actually is something that adds to the experience. And then, hey, next gen, Microsoft can add that stuff to their controller. I don't care who innovates. Just hey, innovate, and then eventually it'll come to the other side.
No doubt. And I'm not bashing PlayStation whatsoever. I mean, if it works, it works. I'll eventually try it. I'll eventually buy the PS5. I'll eventually have the new controller.
Oh, I'll have everything day one if everything goes smoothly, and I hope so. I really hope so. Oh, that's a cool kind of thing to like keep wood together. I never seen that. Like with the band on the side. That's cool.
Yeah, what is this guy building?
He's building a Jumanji board, like from the movie.
Okay. This thing's probably gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I seen this already, so I know it's awesome. I'm a sneak peeker. I know what to watch. I seen this before one day or another. I don't know where I did see this though. But so cool, like it looks original, like the real deal. That's a funny part. They basically have like inside the video even the soundtrack, like the drum beat you get when you go close to Jumanji board, like dum 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 dum. They have that in the video as well, which is fun.
It's a good movie. I mean, I know it's geared more toward kids, but it's still a good movie.
The original.
The first one, right, with Robbie Williams?
Yes, yeah,
Yes.
That was a good movie.
That was a really good movie. I still prefer it over the later ones. The later ones are a little bit more humorous, but they're okay. I don't think they're like the best out there. Thanks, Asa. Thanks for coming as well. It's yeah. You see, my show is different than all the other ones. I didn't saw your show yesterday. I'm sorry for that, but I'll be there next week to see a little bit of your show. Or maybe I'll watch it tomorrow. I can do that. Yeah, stuff like this, it's just like, it's so nice to watch it. I'm so glad there's people like this doing all this stuff. Like, just everything that's creative, I like to watch on YouTube. So,
Building stuff out of wood, but this guy's getting into stuff that just the time, like he's hand carving the top of the box with it. Like, no, it would just take forever.
Right? Looks
And
really
then what if you screw it up like halfway through it? It's just like, oh, and I got to restart over.
good. My question is like, what is he reselling these things for?
actually, that's not really
What's the
true.
price of it? That's the question.
If you screw up, you can still fix it most of the time. Just a little bit of glue, basically, or just one piece that he like takes out and puts something else in. Like, it's all possible to do that, basically. But it's cool, like stuff like this. Yeah, like you have to do this for a long time to do a creative project like this on your own, because he's basically building it from scratch without a real blueprint.
You know what? He probably has something drawn up. I would be shocked if he didn't have something similar to reference.
Have you played with wood, Matt?
I have a wood shop in my basement.
Yeah, so you know,
table
basically
saw, radial arm saw, all that stuff, like different sanders, and yeah, I like building all kinds of stuff out of wood. But the last thing I got into building was cornhole boxes. And I would make cornhole boxes, which is basically it's an American like backyard sport. It's kind of like horseshoes, but with it's different. But the boards are standard size. They're 4x2. There's a 6-inch hole in them. So I went out and got all the tools to have it. And what I was doing was whoever wanted it, like, oh, what do you want on it? Like, oh, Philadelphia Eagles stuff for some sports team. Go out, get all the logos, put it all on there, and I would cover the whole thing in liquid plastic. And basically, it would protect everything that was underneath it. So, like, they held up for years. I made one for my cousin that I 5 years ago, and you see it now, and it looks like it's brand new. It's just like, dude, I'm so glad I covered everything in plastic.
Yeah, I spent $400 on our boards, and then it was like $80 for the bags.
Good bags are expensive. Like, yeah, good bags are up there, 60, 80, $100, something like that. And then
they were up there for a while. I think they still are pretty expensive for a good set of bags. But the boards themselves, finding somebody that can actually make a good board that's going to last.
Yeah, because they make a lot of like the Amazon ones that are light to ship and all that, but they don't bounce right. Like when the bag hits the board, it just kind of
it's not about vibration. Sometimes they just put a little cheap plywood on top and call it a day. That's what you're going to get if you buy something cheap.
because I think for mine I was using 3/4 inch for the top board instead of 1/2 inch for the extra weight and the extra support.
Like you said, for the bounce.
Yeah, because like, if you use like a 1/2 inch, you can run supports underneath. It'll essentially do the same thing as just using a thicker piece of wood. But this is before the pandemic when wood was cheap, so I don't even know, like an $8 difference, something like that. It's like, I'll just do that. Save myself all the trouble.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, also after this video I'm gonna go because it's almost like 1 a.m. So we've been streaming for almost 3 hours. So after this video completes, it's like 10 minutes left. We'll say goodbyes. Just saying.
Not a problem. Nah,
So,
dude, I don't blame you, man. I would be delirious at 1 o'clock tonight. I just slept like so bad yesterday.
oh, dude, I don't know why, but last few weeks I feel a little bit more tired sometimes. Like I can most time when I get like tired and I go to bed like at this hour, I can't sleep. I have to stay up for a little bit longer, like 4 a.m. and then go to sleep. Basically, I'm getting in the American type of time in my brain, which is not actually a good thing.
Oh, so you're like some of the British guys that show up to shows, like Daz. Daz is, I swear, he's on East Coast time. He probably lives in the United States on the East Coast somewhere.
Yeah, right. For as much as he's always on, he's definitely not.
It's insane.
Because like you do the math, like he'll be in Newtham's chat. That show doesn't start till 10 o'clock, so it's already 5 hours ahead there. It's 3 a.m. when it comes on, and he's there, and then he'll stay for most of the show. It's like, dude, it's 4:45 in the morning. Why are you still awake? Like, I love him though because he's always there. Like he's always in the chat. So it's I don't know. It's funny, man.
Speaking of, if anybody's in the room here, I'm trying to get him up to 50 Twitch subscribers on this road to affiliate. So if you guys haven't visited his Twitch yet, go ahead and hit that follow button for him.
Yeah.
It's funny because I'm not a big Twitch user.
No, nor am I. Yeah, I'm same way.
But yeah, like I didn't even know he broadcast on there. I just follow him on YouTube.
Yeah, he's trying to get himself get an affiliate, so probably can take my Prime subscription every month.
I don't know if I'm following him or not on there. Actually, I'll have to check. I don't think I
I
am.
think he's close. I think he's last time I checked, he's at 48 or 49. He might be at 50 already, but trying to get him up to 50.
Okay. What am I wanna? Okay, my brain's not working. I'm like staring at the video screen, watching the Jumanji stuff, and not thinking about anything. Oh, it's stupid. Oh my god. Sorry, guys.
It says he has 49 followers. I just followed him on there.
There you go, number 50. Awesome. That's where he had a hit.
What do you mean?
Or maybe I wasn't. Was I following? I may have already been following him.
Yeah. You get one more.
Who?
Yeah, he's been diligently streaming there a couple hours a day.
Nah, there it is. He did hit 50.
Now he's at 50? Nice. Awesome.
So who? I think I was.
Dazzy.
UK Desires.
Oh,
Dazzy.
yeah. Oh yeah, I already subscribed him for a long time. So I think it was since the beginning, since I know he had a stroke, that I watched and followed this stuff a little bit. Like I have so many stuff that I have to watch sometimes, and I'm like, oh no, I can't watch everything. Like that's impossible to do.
Oh, dude, there's weeks I probably watch like 12, 14 shows. But like I said, because I'm disabled, I have nothing to do most of the time. So
yeah,
that's why I'm there all the time. Because it's a great community to hang out with.
Like you and I need to get together and make a show. Don't have
it's weird because like, well, the summertime for me, because I have the camper down the campground, it's 5 months out of the year. That's when my life gets crazy because I'm going back and forth. And it's not like I couldn't work it out. if I did get on a show. But winter time's way easier for me because I don't go anywhere. I'm home in my house for
exactly
7
the
months.
same way. Yeah, I'm same exact way. Summertime gets a little more rambunctious for me. Work picks up. I'm usually out doing a lot of hours at work, but wintertime, like right about now, all the way till we'll say April, May, I'm usually pretty good.
Yeah.
But after May, I get real busy.
So it's not the best for you to have a YouTube channel then, if you're really busy at
If
that
we do
time.
something once a week, we can make it work.
Yeah, you can
Tell us
like
what it is
you
and what it
can
is.
you can
We're
do
gonna
it. I
take
mean,
over your time slot on Sunday afternoons. Is what we're gonna do.
oh dude,
Hey,
I
it's a
would
Flamish.
like I would understand if you could not do it somewhere else, but if you're doing just to upset me, that would not bode well. Just
We try our best. Don't worry.
Flamish are
no,
like
I
one of
mean.
the nicest dudes in the community. Like, I don't think I've ever seen you be remotely mad. So, like,
I
couldn't
cannot
do
get
that to you, man.
mad. The only time I was mad when I was not mad, I was annoyed because Boom was just like making the show like about this pre-order being like he canceled this Mighty Edition, right? Without actually playing the game, without knowing the game, because other people told a lot about we don't like the game, it's in beta and blah blah blah, it all looks shit. And then they play a game, it was super great. What I said from the beginning, like it's gonna be a great game. Don't pass on it. Don't cancel your pre-order. Just and then eventually did it anyway. Like you
Well,
bought the game.
I think for some people, because like I buy a lot of games, like, and there's some I just won't hold off on, like PGA Tour. It's just like, from what I'm understanding, like this is a 2-year cycle. They're not going to release it every year. It'll be every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, all right, they're probably going to want to keep the $60 price point for quite some time. And it's like,
Yes.
I really want to play a golf game now. So it's like, I'm just going to buy it now. But then like Avengers, it's like, I'm not that excited about it. I could sit there and wait till it hits like $30 and I'll pick it up then.
Mm-hmm.
But it's,
Yeah, I gotta
even though all the time I have, it's like, it's not enough. You only have so much time to game.
Yeah, I do understand. Like it's a live service game. You have to be up to date. It's not like you have to be on every day, but every week should be somewhere that you have to be on there to get new costumes and stuff if you want them. Like I don't care about that stuff. I just play when I want. Um, but yeah, it's he's almost done by the way.
Yeah, I
Only
see
like
that.
3 minutes left. He's now doing the game board itself. So like the inside, which is cool.
Dude, the amount of time this must have taken this guy to build.
A couple of months, probably. That's not in
Oh.
1 week. There's also this guy called Bobby Duke Arts, and he does like all kinds of insane things. You have to see those. Like I'll put this link actually in YouTube right now. Bobby Duke. Bobby. He has like some funny shit as well while he's doing it. Bobby Duke Arts. There we go. He made like Maui's hook, and he made it like insanely big and insanely small. With like glow in the dark paints and stuff. It's all pretty insane what he does. Like I love to watch him. Like it's now in the stuff. Yes. Is the oh no actually I didn't do the right one. That's the one. Duke wood carving. Does a lot of wood carving stuff, but it's so cool. Like but yeah, basically I love to watch stuff like this. I always do. I will always do. And when it's finished, looks like this. It's insane. Look just like the movie, man. Look just like the movie. With the same set pieces in there, same style.
Like if he was to sell that, he's probably going to charge thousands of dollars just because of how much time he has invested in it. It's so cool.
I think it's a like he knows up front that he has a buy for it.
Yeah, most likely, absolutely right. Yeah.
I think that's the only thing that can happen with those. Like, what the hell? I got 5 more minutes.
Just for this, right?
No, just because it's almost 1, so at the 1 mark we will log off. So, Infinite, where can we find you? Tell me.
Well, catch me on Twitter, same way you see my name, ENFIN3T, and then catch me on Tuesday nights on Best Renegades.
Hmm.
This week it happens to be, I think it's Graphic God channel.
Yes, I will not be this week on. I have to work on Wednesday at 7 in the morning, so I will not be able to make the show. Not even for an hour. So that's gonna be a little bit of a shame, but hey, work goes in front of gaming and podcasting in general. So and shows. It's not podcast. It's a show.
You
Jay
have to have
gets
your
mad at
priorities
me.
right.
What?
You have to have your priorities right.
Yeah, work is more important, man. I love my work. It's so nice to be a bus driver. But yeah, that's indeed at 7 p.m. every week. Now is Graphic Gods channel where we do it. So yeah, that's gonna be cool. And Matt,
Yeah,
tell me,
I'm usually there. I'm usually listening.
tell me,
And
Matt.
then for me, I am basically just on Twitter, and you'll see me a ton on YouTube and many of the community members' different channels. That's pretty much it. I have no idea when I'll be on a show again. They're fun. I enjoy it. I really appreciate you having me here. Shooting the shit with you for the last 3 hours about.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, no doubt, man. I'm always in chats with you, man. It's nice to be talking with you for a change rather than talking with you in chat.
It's weird because I'm all like, I know what everybody else sounds like for the most part. Like most of the people I interact with on a regular basis, and many people don't know what I sound like because I'm just not on many podcasts. But I think it helps. Like when you look at somebody, it's like, oh yeah, I know who that is, and it just you kind of get a sense of who they are as a person, and so it makes it easier when you read Twitter stuff. It's just like you kind of know what they're really trying to say instead of just taking it out of context or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. No doubt about that.
I think it's really cool that you made the opportunity to be in the show today. It's so nice to hear someone from the community that isn't really a podcast has because that's just different. You haven't heard him yet. You don't know what it's about, and you're actually a really interesting guy so far.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't get to watch you on Game Beyond the Box, but I did watch you later that night while I was at work.
hmm.
I didn't
Yeah,
catch up.
it's I love Game Beyond the Box, but it's so crazy because there's so many people on the panel. This is totally different because there's only like for the first part of the show is only me and Flamish, so you kind of have to talk a lot more then. You can't like hide in the background with all the other people.
Yeah, maybe it was on purpose that I did like that.
Are you
No,
trying to
Well,
bust
that was kind of like
down?
that's kind of the funny thing with Game Beyond the Box is that like when Wilmy asked me to go on, it was like, oh, dude, that would be a great one to start with because I'm not going to have a lot of spotlight on me. Like there's so many other people there, and there's like it's just easier to kind of hide in. So I was there with Dreadpool, Xbot, and then the whole panel. So that was a great time, man. And this is a great time because it's just it's a totally different experience.
yeah, this is basically not like every other show. Basically, Retro Renegades is almost the same like this, but overall, we don't. There's not really shows like this going on too much at YouTube, where we just talk about random stuff. I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen today. Like, I never know what my show is going to be about every time. Like, that's so weird. So, but it's so fun to do because it makes it so interesting because you can just ask the viewers what they want to talk about or what they have questions about. It's not like they can talk about something and then we cannot discuss it because it's not in the topics, right? So
Exactly. No, it's
that
good. I like
makes it
the
so
format.
fun.
I agree.
Well, the other thing is too is most of us watch a whole bunch of shows.
Exactly.
So, like, if I watch RDX already, like, okay, I'm getting technology news from them, and then
Yeah.
Boom does his thing, and they're very, very serious shows and very focused shows. But that's kind of like I don't always want to listen to them. Like, that's why Game Beyond the Box is good. It's different. Like, they'll talk games, but then God knows what they'll talk about. And that's it might be like, oh, somebody got really drunk on the show, and that becomes like a topic for 20 minutes. Where it's just funny. Like, it's more real life. Like,
Yeah,
buddies hanging out kind of thing. You're not
Yeah,
gonna
that's why I
talk
like
gaming
Retro
all the time.
Renegade. Bunch of guys just sitting out chit-chatting about shit and drinking beers. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, Retro
Yeah,
Renegades
because
is amazing. That's why I'm on there. Like last time.
I love their format. Like it's because it's different. It's different than everybody else's.
Have you seen last show, Matt?
I caught over half of it.
Okay, you did know the beginning. Like we had a problem that I was facing with the audio, like 36 minutes.
Yeah, that's happened. That's actually happened to a couple people recently. I think Staggerilla did that on a stream, a Twitch stream. He went on like the "be right back" message, came back and gamed for like a half an hour with that message still up. Had no clue he wasn't streaming.
Yeah, and we had
And then
it
he's like,
happen on
nobody in the
this
chat's
show.
telling me.
I don't know why that happens though. Why people don't tell you. Like I got it after 5 minutes. We were streaming. Nobody was asking like, "Hey, can you hear them?" No. Just like 5 minutes later, it's like, "Hey, I can't hear you." Like 5 minutes. I'm like, "Oh, come on!" But man, it
Well, at
was
least
so
it was
good.
only 5 minutes. It could have been like 20, half an
Oh,
hour, or an infinite showing up.
The whole show.
I'm so glad someone said it. Like after 5 minutes, it's not too long. Maybe I'll probably cut that out as well, just to be sure. Because yeah,
YouTube's been kind of goofy too. Like I've had them drop. Like I'll be in the middle of a stream and it's not my internet. It just kick me out of the app, or like the chat freezes constantly. It's like this shouldn't be happening. Like on YouTube.
no, I don't think that should be happening. Also, guys, later on this week I will try to do a giveaway. The giveaway will be from Watch Dogs 2 on the US Xbox. So if you're living in the US and you want to have Watch Dogs 2, you can enter my giveaway later on this week on Twitter, and I'll make sure to make it known how you can enter. So stay tuned
Sounds
for
good.
that. It's going to be interesting. Thank you, Marion, for the code you gave me as well. Wandering Dutch is also doing a code for that, so you can go to his Twitter, and yeah, you can also get on his Twitter the same game, like if you are lucky, of course. Um, but yeah, man, I'm gonna go. My throat is like really hurting me. You can start to hear it, right? It's getting really hoarse.
Well, thank you for having
I
us.
can detect it. Yeah, dude, it was great being on here, man. Loved it.
Yeah, it was great, guys. I'll see you not Tuesday on Retro Renegade. So for me, you can find me every Sunday on the show at 4 p.m. EST. I do have the new announcement that I made this weekend with clowns going into 4Q. I don't want to say it wrong. Hold on.
Just say 4 guys recorders.
No, it's not 4 Guys Recorders anymore.
Well, it never has been. They always had a female on there, but it's always been 4 guys
It's
recorders. Is it?
4GQ TV, and I'm gonna be on there talking about the latest news like I always do. But tomorrow I will be streaming in the evening when I get back. I will be streaming a game at like 10 in the evening, I guess, or 9, where I basically, yeah, go into a game. We're gonna play some Deep Rock Galactic that I bought last week because it is on sale at the moment because it's made a lot of money. Made over the positive ratings are of the chart. It's like a 96 on Steam. Like so many positive reviews, it's insane. So I'm gonna try that game tomorrow. Um, if someone wants to join me, hit me up as well. It's on Steam. It's gonna be around 10 p.m. in the evening, so we're gonna play for 2 hours or something on this channel, but in like working together with 4GQ TV. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna do a weekly stream on Monday. He's gonna do on Tuesday after his show, and yeah, basically Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday will be the new show as always. We'll bring that more to you. It will be good. We won't have that problem anymore. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. I don't think there's anything to discuss anymore at the moment. The video ended as well, so it's the perfect timing to stop. So the last thing I will say is stay positive and be happy. Bye, guys.
Have a good night, everyone.